Jasper. ist toxisch, ich nur noch ne Pille, du boxst nicht. Ich glaub nicht, dass es jemand für mich eine Chance gibt. Ich glaub nicht, dass ich dein Gesicht aus meinem Kopf krieg. Hinter mir, ich höre Mickey G. Fuck, ich hab mein Flieger verpennt. Ich bin lost, ich denke mich in Remedy. Mittlerweile denk ich wirklich, dass ich es verdiene. Fuck mich ab, ich will nur lila Racks. Ja, du bist toxisch wie die Pest. Neben mich kann nichts erkennen. Ich geh hoch, doch diese Aussicht macht mich rastlos. Sie hat keine Ahnung. Ich glaub, ich verspiele meine Tarnung. Verliere ich mein Tempo oder bleib ich kein Video-Tour? Ja, ihre Reaction ist so random. Gefühle sind es Pflicht. Never mind, a cure for wellness bringt mich back. Ihre ist toxisch, ich nur noch ne Pille, du boxst nicht. Ich glaub nicht, dass es jemals für mich eine Chance gibt. Ich glaub nicht, dass ich dein Gesicht aus meinem Kopf krieg. Hinter mir, ich höre Mickey G. Fuck, ich hab mein Flieger verpennt. Ich bin lost, ich denke mich in Remedy. Mittlerweile denk ich wirklich, dass ich es verdiene.
Magnum.
Jasper.
Magnum.
Jasper. Jasper.
Ayo, Babs, this shit crazy.
actually going to be crazy. I don't know if you can TP from this part. This is going to be very interesting. I don't know if this is teleportable. I don't think it is. This is just going to come down to who has the most health. Holy shit, what a zone. Ghetto tries to do what he can to heal up while they are fighting on the side there. Sandro getting extremely low with Tremere. Tremere trying to kill Sandro, and it looks like Ghetto might take this game. Oh my god, what a mana crystal by Sandro.
We got to go. No stuff here.
Oh my god! Let's go!
Listen, get next to a wall. No, that's not what you want to do. Marsh trying to go and turn this around. Rocket turning it around himself. Double stun coming from both, and Marsh swipes it away.
Oh my Marsh!
Very true. iLooker and Sea Monster actually getting into an exchange of their own, trying to show who the better Kaiba is. Big combo coming from iLooker. Does manage to get the double stun with the alt follow-up. He may actually drop Sea Monster here, and he does, despite the fact that he was under gear. He's burning everything to try to keep up with Rocket. Now Rocket has ultimate of his own. He could potentially turn us around, and he does! Oh, big play from Rocket.
Oh, Kaiba. Oh no. Kaiba, come back here, bro. Lay a stun trap down. Poison pot. Oh, damn. We just got cooked.
Should be alright if they play it correctly.
Range is hot on his ass though. Oh my god, big move again. Yo, 30 day is Gaiga Brain tonight. Reset Q on ZB. Popping the period, he will be able to pop a mana potion and possibly a health potion here. If he does it appropriately, Marsh will not let him get away though. He has to be extremely careful. He might be forced to ult very soon. Does get the knockup, does decide the ultimate. Boom, double knockup. Does he get the Q reset? And he does. Beautifully played by ZB. Just like that, everyone, welcome to the panel here tonight. I do appreciate everyone tuning in to Royals League Squad Circuit. On the panel, of course, we have your boy, SP Double OG. Glorified, you can come in now.
Come in where?
Come in with the who you are.
Well, hello there. I am the Glorified Ward.
And today we have our squads tournament. Oh boy, I'm feeling good. Glorified, how you feeling?
I am so excited. I have been waiting for the squads tournament. I mean, since I knew about the game. I'm so excited to be here. Spoog, I mean, what are your thoughts on what we have in front of us today?
Glorified, let me tell you something. Squads is a different game. 100%. I've been saying this from the beginning. I understand some people like the solo play. Yes, solos is fun to an extent, but squads is where it's at. I expect to see nothing less than crazy plays all day long for this entire event. We have what I assume is a stacked lobby, which didn't happen in the solos lobby. So I expect to see some pretty crazy stuff today. But
I
Jesus
always
Christ.
love thinking about just, what you can do with one champion as just one thing, only so many abilities, only so many consumables with cooldowns. 3 champions opens up like so many different aspects to the play of this game. That's what really excites me about it. We're going to see things that never have happened in the solos tournament. It's going to be really exciting.
I definitely agree with you there, Glorified. This has been a long journey. I'm not gonna lie. It's been rough. It's been rough, but here we are, coming together as a community yet again, proving all odds are in our favor as long as we stick together as a community. So again, I welcome everyone tuning in wherever you are. Thank you. I understand sometimes it may be late for others across the world, but it is very much appreciative that you guys are taking the time out of your day to watch this event. With that being said, let's go ahead and kick it over to the stats page and the rules.
So what can we expect out of the rules for this tournament versus the solos tournament? How is it going to influence play? Is it going to be the same, or are we going to see a slight shift towards maybe different strategies because maybe the rules work a little different?
Well, the rules in itself are relatively straightforward. It's no teaming, no shenanigans. That is to be expected. Now, in terms of the point system, I do see that the point system is slightly different than the solos tournament. If I'm not mistaken, now correct me if I'm wrong in chat possibly, but I do think it was 2nd to 5th place getting the same amount of points. As per the squads, it is now 2nd to 3rd place, if I'm not mistaken. So we have 1st place obviously taking 10 points, 2nd to 3rd place 7 points, 4th to 5th 5 points, 6th to 8th 3 points, 9th to 10th no points. However, we will still be adding kill elimination points. Now, not individual kill elimination points, squad elimination points. What do you feel that is going to impact the differences between the two, Glorified?
So if you have to kill an entire squad, we're talking about third parties of a whole different level. I mean, is it really worth it to take those early fights at all? You know, in the solos tournament, an early fight meant early points potentially, as long as you're getting the kills. Now, securing a kill early means nothing without the other two linked to it. So I think we're going to see much more of an emphasis on strategic play, which, I mean, I know it's almost like a throwaway thing to say, but you know, the difference between solos and squads is going to be efficiency with consumables and holding them until, you know, things really start to get dire for you. Use them and escape rather than just diving on everybody that you see. Do you think that's accurate? I mean, what are your thoughts on how that new sort of de-emphasis on kills is going to impact this tournament versus the solos?
Personally, I feel as though, yes, I do agree to an extent. It may be a little risky taking these early exchanges. However, on the flip side, what we can probably guarantee more so than, you know, on like a regular scrims lobby, I do believe people will actually not be splitting up as much. As many people are, you know, aware, and for those that are not, originally early game, it was very common in squads to split up from your teammates, loot in areas that you may need items, and then regroup at a later time. But this is a stacked lobby. You cannot expect to have that much space for the entirety of the game. And because of that, I do believe that we are going to see a lot more early skirmishes.
Now, how much access do the players have to tournament information as they go about? Like, will each team sort of know where they stand as the games go on, or will they have to kind of guess just based on their placement and what they see in the post-game screen? Because I think that we could potentially see different squads trying to target each other just based on placement and points. Do you think that that's something we're going to run into, or do you think they're just going to be like too in the dark to really worry about that?
Honestly, that is a possibility. I cannot confirm whether or not you can actually see each other's names in game. I know that we can because we are going to be casting and observing. But the names may actually be bleeped out. So in terms of deliberately targeting a specific team, could potentially happen based solely off of other teams knowing what each team is running, as well as their skins. Now, I'm not entirely sure how much that's going to affect each other's plays as the games go on later on, but they will have access, if I am not mistaken, to the actual board at where everyone is being placed. That much is publicized.
Yeah, well, these players do not mess around, so I wouldn't be surprised if they use, every little bit of information that they can get to try to maximize their standing in this tournament. Because again, this is going to be one of the most competitive events that Royal Crown has seen in North America. Solos is one thing, and it was really hype, but I have to say, so glad that Squads is here. Because like we've said already, it's going to be a whole different level of strategy, whole different level of gameplay. Very excited to see it.
Absolutely agree with you there, Glorified. This is going to be probably the most hype event that we have ever done in Royals League, period, including what we experienced in preseason, just because people have gotten better since the last time that we have had an event like this. So I also am very curious to what we are going to see. I cannot confirm, however, what type of training each of these teams has been doing. As many people are aware, NA has a little bit lower player base, but not completely dead. But a lot of people were deliberately playing on other servers to mask their strategies that they will be using today in this tournament.
I have to say that I have a personal dark horse favorite for the event. They're maybe not the most well-known players, but I've played against them a lot. I know they've been practicing a lot, and that would be Sea Monster and Gen. I figured out is the person whose name we've always tried to pronounce, and we've called Alicia 101, and then also Rocket Arms. So Rocket Arms, Gen, and Sea Monster. They're a dark horse sort of favorite of mine. Although again, ZB, Eyelooker, and Bike Kicker, that is going to be really tough to go against. Huge names. I'm really excited to see what those two squads in particular have for us.
I definitely agree. As those who are tuning in that did not watch the solo circuit that we had 2 weeks ago, ZB is actually the winner of the solo circuit. And having a stacked team, Eyelooker, a very good individual player as well as team player, and Bike Kicker, one of the best Leos I have ever seen, all on the same team, this lobby better watch out.
Yeah, that's the thing. You know, one champion can only do so much, but ZB, Eyelooker, and Bike Kicker all in voice. My goodness, that would be scary to go against. I'm glad to be where I am in this tournament for sure.
Definitely. So we are in the lobby. We are just going over the last few little technical difficulties within the lobby, and then we will be kicking it off. Glorified, I wanted to speak to you directly. What has been your experience thus far on RC as a whole? Now, I know that when you came in during the solo tournament, you were relatively new, but you've got a lot more PT in now. What do you feel as though this game has to offer?
So, you know, you originally talked about how there's a little bit of an MMO aspect, and, you know, originally I overlooked that, but now I do sort of understand what you're talking about. I mean, every game is almost like a quest based on what kind of champion you're trying to build. You get to pick your champion and use their skills, just like super popular games that I really liked, League of Legends and Dota, although Dota isn't a personal favorite of mine. And then, of course, the whole BR gameplay that forces action out of players. And all that combined is so exciting, and the potential is just there to be such an amazing new game. And it's so disappointing to me that something like this hasn't really blown up sooner. Again, we're really lucky to be in a position here where we get to experience a competitive scene and such an interesting game. And I'm so excited to see this. And I'm hoping that the viewers are really excited as well. And that, you know, they're going to see really what this game has to offer. And maybe some of those squad queues are going to start popping a little bit sooner, start getting a little bit more populated. I'm really excited for what we see today.
I'm definitely very excited. And with that being said, the lobby has been made. Let's go ahead and switch on over to get game one on.
Game one, this is where everything is going to be decided. Who is going to be, you know, riding that initial wave of success? Who is going to be trying to scramble for a comeback? And who is going to just be waiting in the background for their time in the limelight? I see a really good, diverse set of champions as well. Anything standing out to you there, Spook?
Honestly, what stands out to me the most, and for those that play this game, they'll understand, is the fact that I do not see too many Karas. Now, I do know that her E, which is her dashing stun knock up ability, has a significant delay tied to it. However, her squad play is amazing in my opinion. She has a % health damage ability. She has a taunt, a knock up, and a stun from her ultimates. And I'm honestly surprised that we do not see more Karas in this lobby.
I think it's been really difficult for certain players to get enough practice and to feel comfortable with implementing a team play style around Kara, because again, I don't know if people know like what it is she does well exactly. I have a feeling that they said, hey, let's use Kara and build a team around that pick. Maybe you disagree there. I know she is more of a support, but I struggle to, think of the holes that she fills.
She is very versatile, but like you said, it is hard to work around her kit. But we will definitely see if Saewari, Vion, and Volpe will be able to make that happen. Now, for the first time viewers, we cannot switch views in new lobbies until everyone is level 2 to prevent the game from crashing. I apologize, but everyone is level 2. Let's have a gander at what's happening around. Looks like everyone... Oh, Zasha actually getting a little bit pieced up here. He's trying to farm up in Freya a little bit, but he's actually forced out to the south building. He has to be very careful. However, this is exactly what I was talking about, Glorified. He has his entire team within 15 meters of his person.
Yeah, I see that. And, Zasha, the early farm, very important. But right now he finds rocket arms. And even with his missing health, he decides to begin going in on it. A squirrel placed down will protect the attacked from the evil Zasha, going in for that, questionable trade. I guess he figured it was easy damage. But what are your thoughts on going in for those trades like that?
Well,
I started a preemptive war.
Yes, indeed. I understand that Zasha is very comfortable playing Korik, and he is not afraid to take early fights. If we take a gander at how much food he has 3 baguettes and 2 loaves of bread, so he can engage a fight comfortably and sustain a little bit of damage whilst being able to heal back up. But like I stated earlier, his team is extremely close by, and Darren is coming in for the follow-up.
Yeah, his team all nearby. Zasha's comfortable taking those fights. Again, though, is he really gaining anything, or is he just sort of setting himself behind? I mean, in this style of play, it's almost like ganking somebody is similar to getting ganked yourself. There's such a time crunch to get your gear.
Very true, but this is precisely what their tactic was. They had full control over all wheat fields in the Freya area. They know that they do not have healing, so if they slowly chip them down, they actually might be able to go for a full engage wipe here. If we take a look at Diren, he does not have food, but like I stated earlier, Zasha did have a ton of food on his persons to compensate for these trades.
So something I don't know if we mentioned exactly was, do the kills count per player or per squad? So is it like 1 point per squad or 1 point per player?
I do believe it is squad elimination. So even if you are knocking people, yes, technically that is killing them, but it does not solidify the kill until the very last member of that squad is dead. So what, to my understanding, now we will have to clarify with Super Future after this game, but it is to my understanding that it is possible for you to knock 2 people on a squad and someone swipe the final kill and they get credit for that squad.
So is a squad worth 1 point or 3 points, I suppose, is my question.
That will be clarified after this game. I do know that there is a little bit of confusion, and I don't blame you because this is very interesting. Oh my god, ZB squad right on Boruto. Oh, deletion! Absolute deletion on Barto. There's nothing that he can do. This is exactly what we were afraid of. ZB Bite Kicker and Eyelooker coming in with the swiftness. Bite Kicker forcing Mihawk to teleport over the wall. Bite Kicker might be able to teleport himself. No, he actually decides to go elsewhere. But man, Barto got eliminated almost immediately.
Yeah, well, I didn't get a good look at what gear he had on him, but just from the colors of the champion levels, you could tell that he was way outgunned. ZB was already blue, level 5, and I believe that he was a green level 4. That's just not a fight that you want to take, especially with the team of ZB all around as well. Saewari might feel some of that as well right now from Bite Kicker.
Absolutely. As you can see, there are a ton of people in this area. Saewari forced the TP away. Bite Kicker is right there. ZB does have ultimate. Does not need to pop it. Big spear as well as stun follow-up. That is it for Saewari. ZB, Bite Kicker, Eyelooker are in great form right now.
Now, again, these kills aren't really securing them points. As a matter of fact, if anything, it might even be just making it easier for other teams to score points. However, they're still getting gear that those people farmed. They are setting those squads behind, so you can definitely argue that it's worth something.
Tactical getting caught out by Zasha's squad. Vlad trying to throw down totems to cover, but unfortunately it's not going to be enough. This should be an easy pick for that squad. A little bit of chop leg, but it's not going to change the outcome. And just like that, they are up.
Yeah, and one thing to point out too is that it seems like Zasha and his squad might be a little bit behind in terms of gear. They're all green. It seems like Zasha might have just turned blue.
That actually might be due to the fact that there's just so much presence around the map and they may be getting boxed out of things entirely. Or they could have deliberately skipped a few loot options to get Zasha these legendary gloves.
That's true. Zasha does seem to be in a decent position. Missing a chest plate is never great, but those legendary gloves are certainly going to help him out.
Definitely agree. To have a look-see at Inked. Inked is actually looking relatively set up here. He's only missing a few items from being full perp, but he himself also has the legendary wand. We'll have to see if he's able to put that to use later in the game.
And one thing I'd love to point out is that there's been almost no action centered around Inked. I mean, he's been completely out of this game until now. Him and Zasha are coming into a little bit of an exchange, but Zasha knows that he's under-geared and he doesn't want to take this fight. This is what I was worried about for Zasha. They can't take a fight against this Inked right now. No way.
No, they will 100% get slapped up. However, if they converge onto Inked and force him to pop double teleport and actually manage to get on him, they might be able to kill, but it is unlikely as he is sitting on ultimate. Billiam running right by Inked. Inked might actually be able to get a pick on Dannysaur here if they decide to go for it. No. Silly, however, getting boxed out by Mihawk. Mihawk was able to escape earlier down in Oasis and managed to TP out. Silly has to be careful. He does have ultimate. Bartos will be able to follow up with the spears. They're actually kind of boxed in here. There's no way out. They have to fight this.
Yeah, this is a bad situation to be in. A lot of damage coming out of Silly and Kitelo, though. Their entire team is there now, so it looks like this fight might have ended up working out in their favor. They went from running to fighting really, really well there. They were able to turn that fight around.
A little bit, yes. Barto didn't actually have any items as he was resurrected not too long ago. Silly did pop ultimate on one person. Mihawk is still sitting in the back. They will be able to engage this. Yurtro is actually looking really low. Big Chow ultimate for the finish. Can Mihawk save his teammate here?
Wow, a fight they really shouldn't have taken here. It looks like they're probably going to lose this. Silly and Italo, looks like they're probably going to end up being okay. They're going to get the res off. Did they wipe a squad there? They ended up, yeah, they wiped the squad.
Yeah, they completely cleaned that squad entirely up. Big play from Neru actually on the Elma, following up his team. Very good engage for them. They actually got caught in this little section back here, and the only way out was precisely where Neru and his squad were standing.
Who got caught where? Because it looked... Oh, go ahead.
No, Sea Monster, Inked, we're getting into a little bit of an exchange in the coral area, and Inked and his team teleported at the same time across the river almost simultaneously, and it looked really cool. I'll have to go back and clip that. But going back to the original fight, up on the Deep Rock Gorge side, if you open the map, there are two sections to get into Deep Rock Gorge. Okay, so they were on the southwest section, meaning they cannot get out of that area unless they came to the south where Neru and his squad were standing.
So they caught them out then. I was under the impression that there was a situation where a team got ganked and then turned it around.
No, they got pinched in that area and they were trying to fight their way out, but unfortunately was not able to do so without getting eliminated.
Well, very well played then for Neru and their squad for sure.
Absolutely agree. They were at a little bit of a disadvantage. Again, Barto getting deleted by ZB and his squad down south, and he just was rezzed at Minor before that fight. So unfortunate for them. Maybe they'll be able to pick it up in the future games.
Yeah, and I mean, that just goes to show that sometimes certain fights don't end up helping anybody who is in the fight at all.
Indeed. Altair getting a little bit of damage done to him by Arrange. He will be able to peel off. Oh, but kinda puny. Getting completely pieced up by the rest of Arrange's squad. And just like that, they drop. Togami trying to come in for the follow-up. Altair as well. But they are forced to back off. Oh, they have to be careful here. Big third party coming in from Sea Monster onto Togami. Oh my god, Togami is getting eaten alive. Forced to pop ultimate. We have a full skirmish here in the Boar Forest.
Fourth party is thinking about sniffing their way in as well.
Big perfect bomb to separate the two squads. Sea Monster getting below half health. There's not much that they can do with this. They will be able to escape. Togami actually managing to survive.
That is really big. This is when dying starts to really hinder your progression. Certain kinds of materials are out of the zone, and you aren't going to be able to get them at all anymore without some serious luck. So Togami living there, going to be huge for his squad down the line.
Absolutely huge. Zasha, Eyelooker, and ZB squad are getting into an exchange. Hydrocide actually choking his ultimate. Big spear on the Hydrocide, but it's not going to do much. He will be able to kill that up. Eyelooker trying to do what he can to keep ZB healthy so he can go into the back line. And just like that, Hydrocide is getting caught out by Bike Kicker and ZB. Big Bike ultimate. Oh my god, the Leo two-man ultimate into the wall. There's not much they can do. 100% to 0. Zasha is now down. Diren is now the only one left standing on his team. ZB will be able to teleport to the wall to stay up close and personal. Oh my god, big spear from downtown. ZB is playing out of his mind.
Now, Neva is super good with CC, so I don't know if ZB is going to be able to catch up with him there. I think that this squad might still be able to make it. He mounts up, but is he going to be able to get away? No, the spear comes in. Diren is in trouble. I don't know if the Neva CC is going to be enough, but he is still running. He is still alive. He's got plenty of mana. So I think he might actually make it out.
Yeah, he may actually make it out. Sea Monster actually running down another squad, getting a squad wipe of their own. I do believe that was Volpe's squad, if I am not mistaken. We only caught the tail end of that, but there was so much action happening. Diren actually able to escape there, which is very likely, as you stated earlier, that Neva, her slows are just really hard to break and get away from while she is running away. She is probably one of the best escapers in the game, but also one of the best chasers to go along with that. But overall, great exchange from ZB Bike Kicker and Eyelooker, managing to take out one of the other teams that we thought were going to make it to the final zone.
Yeah, you know, that's true. We've seen a lot of really surprising things this game. We've seen that certain dominant forces from the solos tournament are having a little bit of hard time in game one. You know, mainly I'm talking about Hydrocide and Zasha going down there. I mean, obviously, Diren is skilled enough to get away with that Neva, and that's great for them. But, you know, they're going to be set back at this point. They're not out of the game yet, but it's going to be tough for them to build their items back up to anything that approaches what some players like ZB are going to end up having.
I definitely agree with you there, Glorified. I do want to take a brief moment to talk about the fact that Kinda Puny got completely deleted by arranging his squad earlier, but they did manage to get the res, and they still got their items, so they are right back into the game. So we will see if they will be able to collapse on anything there. Big exchange here from Danny onto Eden Vibe. Eden dropping below half health. I don't know if he has too much items. He is still green for whatever reason. Arrange trying to do what he can to peel for his team. Inked is the strongest one on the squad, but ZB, Bike Kicker, and Eyelooker does not care. They are just W keying straight onto Arrange. Arrange has to be careful. If he runs too far west, he will run into another team. Eden popping the Mana Stone to try to get a little bit of distance. Able to do so, but ZB says no. Big spears from ZB. He is insane on Steppin'.
Yeah, we saw it in solos, and we're seeing it now. ZB's step-in is a force to be reckoned with.
Absolutely. Bike Kicker and ZB forced a little bit back here by Altair. They will be able to escape easily. And, oh, look at this. Eyelooker actually dropped somehow. He got caught.
I'm like scrambling right now, you know, what is going on here? But I did want to point something out to you as well, Spoog, as when we have a moment here. Yeah. I believe that Eden Vibe is still green. It was part of their strategy where Eden Vibe just followed around Inked while Inked got fully stacked. I think they were going for a really defensive strategy because I saw Eden literally just following Inked from like the very beginning.
That's a very good point. I do remember that as well. Togami actually getting Sea Monster below 5% HP. Bike Kicker will be in for the swipe. Sea Monster will drop Togami trying to get out of this deadly situation, but no, it's not going to be enough. ZB and Bike Kicker able to secure that kill. Tactical also dropping himself. Arrange, Eden, and Inked are right on top of Vlad GG. There's not much he can do to stay alive. He is Morgan, so he will be able to kite this out, but Arrange will have jump as well as stun. They do manage to lock him down. This should be another free kill.
Yeah, Jinjin and Rocket Arms were able to also avenge Sea Monster, and there is still one res location available in the circle still, so we could still see some late game resurrections.
This is very true, and these boxes are still relatively in the zone, so we could potentially see a clutch res and then them loot their own body, getting back into the game.
That's true. It's really difficult to sift through all of the different boxes that are all over the map. So oftentimes, certain boxes will be untouched and you can go back and get your loot.
Very true. Billiam and Danny off to the west side of Woodmill here. They are getting a little bit zoned by Miru 101. Did you say their name was Gen?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, according to Sea Monster, it's Gen, yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to say Mirror 101 because for all I know, that is a derogatory term, and I am unaware. So Arrange getting a little bit jumped on here by Bill. They have to be careful with the third party, though. Rocket looking to poach a little bit here. He will indeed. Big root coming in, but he misses it, actually. This is kind of bad for Billiam. They are zoned between two teams. He's trying to go in to get a little bit of damage, but I don't know if that's what you want to be doing right now.
Yeah, and just like we said, Sea Monster did end up getting res, and he does have blue items now. So, you know, he's not out of it yet.
Definitely true. Look at this. ZB does not care that he is down a teammate. Bike Kicker and ZB have just going straight balls to the wall. Big combo on the Zasha. I don't think he has any items. Oh, he has a few items, but it doesn't matter. ZB is all over him. He will likely drop again here. I do not suspect him getting away from these two a second time. And just like that, that is the second kill for them.
ZB is just so stacked here. There's just no way that Zasha's Korik can eat it, not without a ton of gear.
Very true, but they have to be careful here. Inked has ultimate. A Spark ultimate on a small zone is absolutely devastating. So they have to be careful with who they're focusing and when, because if Inked waits until the absolute last moment, we could potentially see like a 6 to 8 man Spark ult.
That's true. You never think, ooh, Hydrocide going down there because he gets sandwiched into ZB.
Absolutely unfortunate there. They did get the resurrect off. Oh, look at this. Arrange sitting in the bush with Eden and Ink. They are biding their time efficiently. Rocket Arms and his squad are on the north side trying to bide their time as well. Bill actually getting caught out by Bike Kicker and ZB. They are just on a killing frenzy tonight. Oh, baby. Danny Sword trying to get away, but no, the big spears from ZB. ZB trying to cut them off. Bike Kicker trying to go for the TP. Danny now boxed in. Oh my god, the blind spear. ZB cannot miss.
You just wonder how he does it. Like, how do I get that ZB still? How do I do that? How?
His game sense is just out of this world. I have seen a lot of decent step-in players, but this is just insane.
Doesn't necessarily matter about the champion, you know. A good player is gonna really carry with whatever they have, and ZB's doing it with Stefan right now, taking down a purple Viren.
Jesus Christ! If you've paid attention to that, Inked actually choked his ultimate, popping it and only hitting one person. That is going to be absolutely crucial to have as the zone is now collapsing, and he needs to start spamming abilities to get his ultimate up. ZB will be able to just keep chucking spears. Bike Kicker will be there for the follow-up. I don't know if Bike Kicker has ultimate. Yes, he does indeed. Arrange trying to do what he can. They will be able to keep a little bit of distance here, but this is going to be whoever gets focused first. Yes, Inked is trying to charge his ultimate. They are trying to stay healed up. I'm very, very excited to see who will be able to take this dub, but Inked, unfortunately, burning his ult earlier could have cost him the game.
Yeah, you know, we think about how Spark can potentially be a really, really powerful force in these final circles, but not without that ultimate, so using it very risky.
As we expect in last zones, we are seeing a little bit of a shake and bake. In 5 seconds, the zone will be shifting to the best, the east. Yes, sir, we are going to the right now. ZB trying to get ahead of the zone. Bike Kicker a little bit separated, forced to go through the wall. Mirror 101 trying to do a little bit of damage to keep them. Oh, Big Root coming in on to ZB from Rocket. They will be able to get the cover of this building. no one has made a full move just yet, which is very interesting. This is exactly what I expected. People are waiting until the absolute last second to go in, and this might be it. Sea Monster sees an opportunity to stun against the wall. No. Volatile bombs coming out left and right. Oh, this is very good for ZB and Bike Kicker. The zone is now shifting north. They are in a great position to completely funnel onto one of these teams. Oh no, but they missed their opportunity to get out of this building in time.
Yeah, you know, ZB and Bike Kicker and like all the other teams are all just like pulling out their calculators trying to figure out who's the biggest threat, because ZB and Bike Kicker have a ton of items, and I think they might have more items than some of the other 3-man squads do.
Yeah, this is very scary. Bike Kicker does have ultimate again. He now is going to be able to secure a kill for ZB to completely lock down. But Rocket, Miru 101 and Sea Monster getting extremely close to their ultimate. I do believe Miru does have their ultimate as well. Sea Monster, once his ultimate comes up, he can do just as much damage as everyone else that has AoE as it stuns. Oh, here we go. This is what we wanted to see. Arrange now going in for a little bit of harassment. Miru 101 trying to peel, and just like that, they're back to dancing.
Nobody wants to full engage here, because a full engage means almost a guaranteed third party from the remaining squad. This is going to be really, really weird for them to work out.
Very true. Bike Kicker may be forced to ultimate here. I don't know if he wants to. He does volatile bomb them back into the other squad. Sea Monster getting extremely low. Here it is. Big polymorph on 4 guys. Oh my god, Miru 101. What a beautiful ultimate. Eden trying to follow up. But Rocket is going to get deleted. Beautiful ultimate. I do believe that was from Miru 101.
Just like that, I think that ZB and Bike Kicker might end up taking this match now, since they are a dominant force, the only one who didn't take that engagement.
Oh, Bike Kicker doing what he can to peel for ZB. ZB actually able to get out of there in time. Arrange trying to stay on top of ZB. He does not have enough damage, but he will take advantage of the zone. Nice blink from ZB trying to stop the healing from Eden. Oh my god, he's playing out of his mind, but they cannot ignore Bike Kicker. Bike Kicker is still a threat if he is able to get away and heal. No, that is not what you want to do. Arrange trying to do what he can. Ink trying to come in for the follow-up. Bike Kicker will be able to TP through the wall and heal up. Oh my god. This could be bad.
This is weird.
This could be
weird.
Bike
Yeah,
Kicker is strong enough to take both of them if he does it appropriately. They have to be careful. Ink does have ultimate here. We now are in a 2v1 situation.
2v1v1.
Oh, 2v1v1. Okay. Oh, big spark ultimate on Bike Kicker, but look at that. He only takes 10%. Ink is now on the defense. He can't do anything. Bike Kicker looking really good to possibly take this game. No! Failed TP from Ink. Forced to go into the zone. He takes 2 ticks of zone, and just like that, Bike Kicker will be able to clean this up, and this is exactly what I was talking about. Bike Kicker is in a great position to take this game. Miru 101 cannot take this 1v1 with a Leo. He is just slapping too much. He pops his ultimate. Will it be enough? It will
Wow.
not. What a game.
Cannot believe Bike Kicker and ZB go into a 3v3 v2. There was only the 2 of them in the final circle there, and they were still able to win. Bike Kicker almost dying, TPing, using his health pot, and then healing up. I can't believe it. I said they were going to do it. I saw them almost die. I doubted myself, but I was right. ZB and Bike Kicker came out of that on top. They were geared enough to do it.
I definitely agree. I stated this at the very beginning of the game. Bike Kicker, ZB, and iLooker are a devastating squad when they are together. And this just shows the power of what happens when you are protecting your teammates. 11 kills, 32,000 damage on Bike Kicker, 4 kills, and 48,000 damage from ZB. Jesus, they are popping off. But overall, GG's for game 1.
That was a really, really good game. I am so happy to see an underdog there sort of win in the end. Now, of course, not an underdog in terms of, you know, some really amazing players, but you never expect in a 2v3v3 that the 2-man's going to come out on top. So that was great to watch, even if it should have been expected from ZB and Bike Kicker. Some crazy players really showing it off there.
Couldn't agree with you more. Back to the panel. This has been an absolutely insane start to our squad circuit. This is my mind is blown. This is exactly what we like to see. There are so many instances where you can turn a fight in your favor as long as you are playing with your team. You cannot count out some of these people that only have 2 members if you are not aware of their power to be able to secure a kill. This is the importance that we were talking about with using your ultimates effectively, playing off of each other's kits, following good positioning with the zone before it shifts. And we actually got to finally see underdogs really showing how the game is supposed to be played.
Now, I really liked the strategy that Inked and his squad employed, having Eden Vibe really just play the support character, not even necessarily focus on loot. Now, I don't know how well that worked out in the end, because I believe it was the Miru who was the last one standing in that final slugfest with as the circle closed in. But, you know, there are a lot of ways to look at it. I think it was an interesting strategy. I'm disappointed that it didn't work out for them better, but second place is nothing to scoff at.
Absolutely not. It is only a 3-point difference, so they will easily be able to stay relevant as long as they stay consistent. But man, let's take a moment to talk about that 4-man poly coming out of Miru 101. That actually turned the tides in Bike and ZB's favor. I don't know if you realize, because that actually polyed important people for those other squads, rendering them completely useless and allowing Bike Kicker and ZB to piece them up entirely.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta respect a good Miru in squad play in particular. You know, it's funny, I never really run into a Miru who gets me too afraid in solos, but in squads, they're such an amazing tool to use. So much CC, even a significant amount of damage. So seeing more Mirus definitely is nice.
Absolutely.
And
This
Even played well too. Great.
her kit is, I don't think it's broken. I just think it works very well in a squad setting. She can AoE heal. She has a jump. She has a knockup. She has a poly. She's not impossible to kill. She's very tanky, but you know, if you again utilize them kits effectively as a team, miraculous things happen. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a gander back at the rules page for anyone that are just tuning in and are unfamiliar with what we are doing for this event.
I'm really excited to see where the kills line up for these games too, because kills are not necessarily a non-factor. They're just less of a factor than in solos. And I think just as we expected, we saw a lot more strategy. We saw, obviously, a lot more team play. And at least to me, you know, that's really where this game shines.
Absolutely agree with you there, Glorified. This is precisely when you asked me what we are likely going to see and how hype it was going to be in these squad lobbies. This is exactly what I was talking about. These early exchanges are bound to happen because you cannot expect to have like all this space that you're used to in an empty lobby. So again, for everyone just tuning in, we are doing our Royals League squad circuit. We will be playing 4 games tonight. What we just witnessed was game number 1. The point systems are slightly different than the solo scrims and the solo circuit, but that will be on the screen as well. And I know it does not state on this panel that there is cash on the line. There is cash on the line. It's just we are unaware of how much because it is being pooled together from the community. So whatever winners, you know, come out on top from this event, we will still let you know, like, oh, okay, you get the diamonds plus this, right? So it doesn't state that there's cash, but I want to reiterate that there is cash in general. Okay. All right. So Glorified, I want to hear it. I can tell the excitement on your face. The people can't see it right now because they're looking at this rule section, but how do you feel right now? This is what you've been waiting for.
This is exactly what I've been waiting for, and sitting here and just watching it manifest in front of me was so amazing. Again, I am so glad to see Bike Kicker and ZB coming out of that really terrible situation on top. And I also noticed something interesting. You know, there was a kill early that I believe Zasha and his squad might have gotten. And I remember that later on in the game, those like that squad that was sort of set back a little bit, they got killed by a completely different squad there. And I was sitting there and, you know, I think other stuff was going on, but I was thinking to myself, like, wow, you know, this is exactly what I expected. You know, Zasha almost spoon-fed another squad, like, unbeknownst to him, you know, a potential 1 to 3 points. And I know we haven't exactly figured out how that's going on yet, but I think I'm really happy to see some people taking advantage of the fact that, you know, setbacks on certain squads aren't always going to help the person who did it. I think we even saw in that game, Zasha and his squad kind of got knocked out a little earlier than they would have liked. And, you know, you could probably place some of that blame on the fact that they didn't farm up as much as they could have. And it's good to see people getting punished for some things that they do. You know, not that I'm trying to rag on Zasha or anything, but, you know, those were some questionable early fights for sure, and I think that they felt it, and I'm glad that we're seeing those kinds of things happen.
I definitely agree. I think it might have been due to the fact that they were shoved out of their original looting path, and I actually think this may have been caused by a little bit of unfamiliarity with this route of being in a stacked lobby. I am telling you, it is a totally different game where you are used to being able to go here, rotate, get pap real quick for cards, go here really quick. You can't always do that because there might be a team right around the corner.
Yeah, that's true. And I would love to take a little bit more of a look at the VOD, and, you know, I'm trying to keep an eye on the map as well. I would love to see where people are going for their gear and just how the squad atmosphere in a stacked lobby changes those build paths. Really interested to see more of that.
I am an advocate, always have been saying, even though you can create your own build path within the game with the map guide and group item sets, you should always be cognizant of an alternative loot path on the off chance that you are shoved out. Now, Super, I want to take a moment to break the fourth wall. If you could reiterate to us in chat what the point elimination system is going to be for squads, I would really appreciate that. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into game 2.
Yeah, really excited for game 2. Really excited to see ZB and his squad be seen as even more of a threat than before. Now everybody knows they're not messing around, and you know, their teams kind of sleep on Zasha now. They might not really be too worried now that they've seen that, you know, he's not necessarily going to be coming in first every time. You know, they're going to have to focus a little bit more on their team play.
I definitely agree. I think they may have gotten a little bit overzealous, but we will definitely see how they rebuttal for game 2.
That's true. I think they're going to have a lot to prove, and I think that we are going to be rewarded with some really cool gameplay as a result.
Indeed. As a reiteration, as what I said last game, we cannot switch POVs until everyone in the lobby is level 2 to avoid a client crash for a known bug. But we will go ahead and see if there's any action happening with Miru 101.
That is who I am looking at as well. Miru 101 has been playing for a really long time. I played a bunch with them in matchmaking. I've played with them in the customs as well. They are very, very good at what they play, which is typically Alicia. But again, great to see more Mirus in this game.
Absolutely agree. I do believe the content creators of this community, and all communities, as a matter of fact, or regions, I should say, have really shined some light on how good Miru is as a character. I think she was undervalued for a very long time, but, you know, hosting the events, or these events, has definitely allowed people to see a more top tier side to a lot of champions, even outside of Miru.
Yeah, Spoog, I know. Like, the champion is one thing, the abilities are one thing, but then seeing it in the hands of somebody who really knows what they're doing is amazing. And I just want to point out that Super has responded. A squad wipe is only 1 point, so a huge de-emphasis on kills. And, you know, 1 squad wipe only guaranteeing you 1 kill starts to make fighting really make you take out the calculator and wonder, hey, are all these consumables being spent really worth it? Because it's 1 point for 3 kills. That's tough.
That is tough, but unfortunately, that is the only way to balance something like this because it is so easy to resurrect your teammate. There is no catalyst that you need to get a resurrect off and to prevent people from essentially farming people, allowing people to resurrect only to kill them after and getting a little bit of an advantage. This will have to be the direction that we go.
Yeah, no, it makes a lot of sense. And I personally like it when I play BRs. I'm a firm believer that, a win means you're one of the last teams. Kills, they're part of the game. But to me, it's more of a method of farming than it is like a central part of the game. I know a lot of people disagree with me on that and they think kills are very important. But that's my personal opinion on BRs. The game is survival.
I hear you there. If you take a moment to open up the full map, this will give us a little look-see at the spacing in which I was talking about. Now, if we take a look at Minor Tavern, right? Usually this area over here, Minor Tavern, Crow's Quarry, Magic Supply Shop, and Great Rainforest, usually has a lot of people, but we are actually seeing people utilize the entirety of the map. We have a couple people up in Deep Rock Gorge. We have a couple people over towards Titan Ruins. We have a couple people in Whale Lighthouse. Utilizing the entirety of the map is going to be important to compensate for potentially getting pushed out of known and frequent visited areas.
It also seems like a lot of the squads are bunched up, with one exception that's really glaring to me. It's Niru and their squad. Silly and the other member are together, but Niru is really just off on their own down in the desert area. It's risky.
This is very risky.
Teleporters are not super close to each other. It would be difficult for them to join up.
I agree. As we're already seeing, if we take a gander, I think this is Bike Kicker, right? Yeah. So Bike Kicker, ZB, and iLooker literally running as a 3-man unit wherever they go. This is the type of play that I expect in these competitive lobbies, because on the off chance that you get caught, yes, you can get resurrected, but it is a setback, and every second that passes by, it is that more of a detrimental setback. And if it is like around level 6, level 7, that hurts your team substantially.
Yeah, that's true. Something that I like to do with my teams when I do squads is we coordinate our build paths so we go to the same places, more or less.
That's a very good idea. What I usually like to advocate for is if your teammates are needing to go to the sand prison area, you farm the loot for them and then meet up and exchange items. Vion getting caught out here by the squad themselves. Oh, baby. Just like that. It's like it's easy peasy for ZB. Vion dropping almost immediately. That is their first kill of this game.
Yeah, so ZB and their squad, we can call them the Z Squad, are doing a really good job in farming up and getting all their gear. And Vion was just simply a sad green Leo. Not much you can do there against a relatively stacked squad.
I agree. Saywari actually getting caught out on a separate fight by Billiam and Danny. Very unfortunate. That is 2 members down for a Volpe squad. He will be able to get the resurrect, but
it is pretty early still. So it shouldn't be the kind of thing that's really going to be too frustrating for Volpe and his squad. Of course, it's not great, but I think that they can still come back and have a pretty reasonable game, even with that setback. I mean, Saywari might be getting their gear right here. It looks like they might have picked up their own gear.
That is a definite possibility, but here's the downside. This is second zone. Zone is now shifting southwest. It may not close that fast. However, there are going to be a lot more people teleporting in from all other parts of the map to try to get what they are missing from the southern part of the continent. So yes, they may not be set back that much, but they could potentially here in the next minute. Oh my goodness. I didn't catch it, but Kinda Puny getting caught out by Inked and his squad. Saywari getting caught out again off of the fresh res by Zasha and Diren. I assume that they are going to try to go towards the Kobold area and farm up a little bit. Very unfortunate for Saywari not getting set back once, but actually a second time. Volpe is still nearby. We'll be able to get the resurrect off, but he has to be careful. It does show you on a little bit of an indicator when teammates are being resurrected nearby. So hopefully they can get set back up.
Yeah, we're starting to approach that area where these setbacks are really going to start having pretty significant repercussions. So, you know, one more kill on Sewori and they're likely going to end up being down a player in the final circle. I wouldn't be surprised, but I really am rooting for them. You know, Sewori in particular, played with them a bunch. Great player. You know, I'm wishing them the best, I suppose.
I agree. Ink catching Barto out a little bit out of position. Nice volatile bot from Barto to get a little bit of distance, forcing Ink to teleport. He will have his E up here off of cooldown in a moment. Little bit of chop lag, but I can almost guarantee that he will eventually be able to catch up. No, actually big stun trap from Barto to get a little bit of distance. Just like that, his team has now come in for the assist, but Eden says no. Two-man polymorph for the follow-up.
Yeah, the Violet was forced to ult there, and that's really, really good because they couldn't hold that, and Inked in a range are still alive, and they might be able to get away from this.
Very, very close escape from a range in a squad. They are still on the run. I do not know if Yurtro will allow them to get away. It looks like he may try to run this down, but he has to be careful not to get slapped by the red zone. Looks like they will be able to back off and heal up. Man, that was a that was very close.
Yeah, and, you know, again, the Violet ultimate is so strong, and the fact that they were able to force that out, still not let anyone go down, that's going to be really good for them later on. Not necessarily in setting them up, but in preventing their potential decline.
Very true. Inked will be able to get the stun on Yurtro. Yurtro will be able to back off. Not necessarily anything to worry about. I think based off of that exchange, Inked is likely to just look to piece up people to charge his ultimate. He is sitting at about 55, maybe 60% on ultimate. Vlad and Tactical are a little bit out of position here. They have to be careful, and just like that, they go for the exchange. Tactical force out a little bit.
This is very promising. Oh, a wall gets put down that really puts Inked in a hard position there, but a range is heavy on the case. Gets a two-man stun, a knockback as well. Is Tactical going to go down here? I think he might.
He will actually go down. He's forced to drop his ultimate, but it's not going to be enough. They will be able to get to him. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
He didn't go down.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, my God. He's still alive. Oh, my God. Oh, baby. What an escape from Tactical. He will be able to get this potion off.
He gets the potion off. He dashes away. He still has a ways to go in terms of running, and the wall. Ooh, wow. Inked with a huge burst.
Unfortunately for Tactical, Inked is a range character, and he will be able to collapse on that kill. He definitely almost made it out, but they cannot get comfortable just yet. Here comes Silly and Kata.
If he had just mounted up, I bet he would have gotten away, but the fact that he chose to pot first might have been the downfall. Of course, he has no idea what's sitting out in the, you know, this area. You know, there could have been a team waiting, but I bet if he had just mounted up, no pot, he might have been able to do it.
Very true. Look at Barto getting run down by the squad. This is extremely scary. All three have ultimate. There is nothing that Barto can do. He needs some assistance from his team, but I don't think he's going to get it. Oh, no, this is very bad. ZB will be able to clean this up with ease.
If there's one thing that the Royal Crown champion pool is missing, it's someone who can peel away from 3 people on a squad. I mean, maybe Violet can do it, but man, that's a hard thing to do.
Very true. What also is hard, Diren having this 3-man ultimate does get the freeze off, able to peel for Zasha. Zasha is getting pieced up from Inked entirely still. He will be able to possibly escape here. No, Inked will be able to get the combo. He will drop, but Diren is still nearby. He might be able to peel them off just ever so slightly. No, they actually decide to full focus him down, but just like that, Hydroside coming in for the possible assist, dropping a range. They might be able to turn this fight now. Diren is very strong. Oh, this is not where you want to be. Inked teleporting, unfortunately, right on top of Diren, and Diren is not going to let him get away with this.
Oh, this is a hard one to watch for Eden Vive and Inked. I don't know if they're going to be able to make it out of this alive.
No,
Inked ends up going
not.
down. Eden Vive tries a volatile bomb. He goes right into another squad. Who gets the kill? Another squad. Third parties. They get the point.
That is upsetting. Mihawk and Yurtro getting the kill participation for that. Diren will be on the run here. Will be able to TP away from the chain. Very upsetting. Oh, no, he might drop here because of that. Oh, nice E from Mihawk, and just like that, Diren drops. Oh, that is a massive upset, but this is precisely what we were talking about. You have to be careful and secure these kills immediately in this squad circuit.
It's so frustrating. You know, any attempt to peel is great because, you know, at the very least, Arranged, Inked, and Eden Vibe, they can say, well, you know, ha ha, you know, you didn't get the kill, this other squad did. So they probably are a little smug because of that. But of course, it always hurts to go down nonetheless.
Very true. Billiam getting a decent 3-man poly on ZB squad, but unfortunately, it's not going to be enough. Danny does have ultimate. He may be forced to pop it here to get away. Eilooker will be able to turn back, secure that kill. Again, Diren, wait, did he get rezzed? He got rezzed! And he has all of his stuff. Oh my god, they are turning the fight! Whoa, wait a minute. Clutch rest from Hydroside, I do believe they are now they have them on the run.
I'm scrambling to figure out what's even going on here. Wow.
Diren managing to get resurrected by Hydroside, I do believe. He is now turning the fight entirely on Barto and his squad. What a turnaround from this team.
The last thing you want is to give a Neva all their items back. My god, they must be upset about that one.
One man ultimate from Diren. Diren forced out there. I do think they were able to secure that kill. Yurcho getting extremely low. No, he drops from Sea Monster. Man, that was insane. I think someone had a goddess statue in their pocket, and I believe it was Hydroside.
Oh. Yeah, you know, you can't forget how important those goddess statues can be, especially in squad game.
Very true. Zasha's trying to do what he can on Mirror 101. He has to be careful. He does not have that many items. Sea Monster is extremely strong. Hydroside will try to peel a little bit. Nice petrification potion from Diren to try to draw a little bit of attention. This is exactly what they wanted. They want them to chase Diren over Zasha, as he will have an easier time escaping.
Yeah, it looks like Hydroside is going to be able to get away. You know, he had full health, but really low on mana. So he's able to mount up, and he'll be able to evade that fight there.
Very true. They have to be extremely careful, as the strongest squad in the lobby, in my opinion, is right above them. ZB, Eilooker, and Bike Kicker. Bike Kicker running someone down right now. It is Kata and Silly. They will be able to collapse on this, and this might be another squad wipe. Oh,
yeah,
Big
you just
TP.
gotta hope that they don't get third-partied by another squad.
Big TP, Nero trying to come in for the flank, but that is not what you want to do, especially running right into a Leo with ultimate. They will be able to secure that kill. ZB able to run down Kata on the northern side of Woodmill. And just like that, that's 2 kills for them. Silly will be able to get the resurrect here potentially. No, decides not to. I think they might have known that they were still nearby, but they actually might try to sit this out and try to go for the sneaky deaky res on the side, because the goddess statue is still in the zone temporarily. Togami getting run down by Altair, or Sea Monster. Altair trying to come in for the peel. Not much he can do. He needs to drop ultimate here. He absolutely needs to drop ultimate here. There is no reason not to ult. Oh my god, they are getting completely pinched between 2 different squads here. Vion is now in the fight. Altair getting extremely low. He manages to escape somehow. I don't know how that happened. Absolutely insane. Rocket Arms getting extremely low. He will be able to back off and pot up. Man, this is getting crazy.
Yeah, Sea Monster and Mirror 101 seemingly able to regain some control in this fight. They're able to leave Rocket Arms, Mirror 101, and Sea Monster all were able to get out of that fight just fine.
Very interesting. They will all be able to back off and heal. I do think that would be the better opportunity and choice, especially this late. You do not want to take unnecessary fights. Oh, just like that, Diren and Hydroside getting extremely low, running right into Eilooker, Bike Kicker, and ZB. This squad is seeming unstoppable right now.
Yeah, and like Zasha, Diren, and Hydroside, that's a pretty stacked squad itself. That just goes to show like how crazy the ZB squad is. ZB, Eilooker, and Bike Kicker really showing up this lobby.
Definitely agree. Hydroside was able to possibly get res. He is on the run now. Oh my god. Oh my god! The invisibility potion play from Hydroside! Will he escape this? Bike Kicker knows he's got to be nearby. Oh, okay. Bike reads it. Oh, that almost was insane. I was about to have an aneurysm.
Yeah, you know, if he had ran away just then, he might have been able to do it. But it looked like he was almost maybe glitching on my screen. But yeah, the invisibility potion.
That almost was extreme Giga Brain. ZB trying to run down Zasha here. They do not want him to escape. Zasha is hoping that someone is in this bush to possibly help him, but no, he does get dropped. Wait, I think that might have got swiped away from Bike Kicker. I don't know who killed Zasha there. I think Altair and his squad might have picked that up.
Yeah, they might have ended up getting that kill and getting that point as well. We're seeing all sorts of points going to all these random squads this game. So much third partying. Don't fight is what I'm screaming at these people. Just stop fighting.
This last zone is going to be crazy as there are still 17 people alive, and it is tightening up extremely fast here. iLooker and them still sitting all at level 13. And just look at what they look at this. Like, they're raid bosses. This is a raid boss squad.
Yeah, between them they have 4 legendaries, and that's going to be really tough because almost every other squad has been set back at least a little bit.
Very true. Sea Monster and his squad are also all level 13, but they have to be careful. This engagement and burst potential with the squad is absolutely insane. Kinda Puny getting pinched between 2 teams. This is very bad for them. They need to head south and pause. Wait, no. Double back. Oh, this is not what you want. Bike Kicker will be able to get the stun here on Kinda Puny. No, Kinda Puny managing to dash away. Will they allow this to go? They are in between 3 different squads now. It is about to get hectic. I do apologize if we cannot cover all of this. Tactical getting ran down by Bike Kicker and ZB. Getting below half HP. They might let this go or turn their sights elsewhere. No, they decide to focus their attention onto Tactical. Unfortunately, he's pounced on by 2 different squads. Oh, getting completely poached a little bit by Silly, but they will be able to secure that kill indefinitely.
Bike Kicker and his squad just smell blood, and they're going for it. I mean, they know that they are stacked, and they don't seem to care if they get third party. They just want to fight.
ZB chunking Kata with these spears from long distances. Now look at this. Bop, bop, bop. The damage from ZB is absolutely insane. They are literally the manifestation of W key right now. They are not stopping. If it moves, it dies. That is what we're seeing tonight.
They literally do not care. They're eating in other teams' faces. They are fighting whatever they want to fight. They're just looting up in the middle of everything. I mean, they're just so powerful. They figure, what can anyone do to them? What can anyone do to them, Spoog? Have they just won this already?
I don't know. Someone cue the old DMX song, X gon' give it to you, because they are going in. iLooker getting into an extremely big fight here with Altair. Altair getting completely pieced up, below 10% HP. He has to be careful. They need to disengage and heal. Silly getting caught up by Rocket and his squad, getting below half HP himself. Altair, no, he goes down. Silly running into 3 squads here, dropping himself. Altair also getting completely finished off. This is where it's going to get crazy. As you can see, the game literally cannot keep up from all this action.
Yeah, and I really think ZB and his squad have done it. They've set everybody back so much. The only full squad left is Vion, Volpe, and Sewori, and they've been set back since the very beginning. This looks like an easy win for the Z squad.
Absolutely. Sewori trying to pop ultimate. It's not going to be enough here. Rocket will be able to peel for his teammates. Sea-Monster trying to come in for the stun. Does not connect, but it actually was a beautiful timed knockup from Miro 101 for the follow-up to compensate for the fact that Sea-Monster cannot slam anyone into a wall.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of people just trying to stay alive, just trying to rack up those points from being in the final one, and now the giant skirmish takes place. Sea-Monster on one side, ZB on the other, everybody fighting in the middle.
This is just absolutely insane. Zone is now shifting southwest. iLooker, Bike Kicker, and ZB are still alive. They are just killing everything in their vicinity. There is nothing that anyone can do. They have to be careful here. If they get caught out in the zone, this could be very well something that is very bad. Big Leo ultimate. ZB will drop because of the zone, and just like that, Rocket Arms and everyone else have managed to turn the fight. iLooker is still alive, so he will be able to keep Bike Kicker healthy. Again, Bike Kicker on the Leo is absolutely devastating. If he can stay healthy, he still might be able to win this for his team.
But Chogami might actually snag second place because he's just hiding. He might snag second.
This is very true. If Bike Kicker manages to kill these 2 members, he will be able to secure this. They actually, Bike Kicker is able to swap positions and try to get a little bit of zone play, trying to get a couple ticks of heal. Petrification Potion coming out of Mirror 101 onto his own teammate. They decide to back it off and heal up, and let's see if Bike Kicker can go for the second game clutch for his team. Oh, this is very bad. This is so bad. The zone is shifting back northwest. They cannot cross the bridge. They cannot cross the bridge. I think Togami might take this. Togami has ultimate.
Togami gonna take it?
Miru trying to get across the... Oh, she manages to make it across the bridge. Togami is going to be forced to pop ultimate here. He will be able to E back in. But just like that, Miru 101 is in the best position to take this game. Getting the knockup on Togami. Has the poly. Will they use it? Yes. Oh, my God. What a turnaround.
What a game. stolen from Sea Monster by the zone. Just stolen from him.
What
Oh
a turnaround
man.
from Miru 101.
Oh, but Miru 101 was alive on Sea Monster's team. Wow, what a save then. What a clutch save from Miru 101. Wow. It was hard to follow what was going on there.
That is extremely unfortunate for Bike Kicker and his squad. They were in a really good position to take the double down W off of that, but the zone said no. It shifted northwest back across the bridge. Mirror 101 saw that it was shifting, rotated early, only took one tick of zone, and that actually managed to win them the game. What a fucking second game.
If Miru 101 hadn't done that, it seriously might have gone to Togami there. I mean, such a tanky champion Bastine is, and getting caught in the zone is like exactly what you want to be doing as a tank. The fact that was read so well by Miru 101 and, Sea Monster held Togami back a little bit. What a great play. How happy I am to see them come out on top. Some real underdogs, some people who, we maybe didn't expect to come in first all too often. Great to see them come out on top of ZB just for the underdog factor.
Absolutely agree. This is precisely why we say you cannot count people out until they are dead. You never know what is going to happen with some of these games. You could be completely caught off guard with a quote-unquote zone shift, and that could be the turning factor that wins you the game. But overall, GG's for everyone. Let's take a quick moment. Yeah, let's take a quick moment back on the panel here. Just to talk to the people. Wow. I am ecstatic. I am ecstatic. This is so exciting. Like, I thought for sure ZB, iLooker, and Bike Kicker were taking that game. But there was a brief moment where they got caught up on the zone next to the bones in the Boar Forest, where I do believe Bike Kicker managed to get a 3-man ultimate, but they actually took some zone damage, and ZB was not able to TP through the wall and actually drop because of it. Now, if that didn't happen, that may have turned around. But that would just Jesus.
Positioning is everything, and it's not just like a micro game kind of thing. It's not a micro mechanic. There is macro positioning in this game. You can get seriously cut off in this game, and like you said, just that one mistake ended up putting ZB and their squad down at number 3. Now, points wise, that's not gonna really set them back too bad, but it shows you that there is room for these lesser known squads to pop off potentially.
I definitely agree, and this should, encourage everyone that is participating that you're not out until you're out. With that being said, we are going to take a brief 10-minute intermission. Get your snacks, get your drinks, take a moment to breathe, because when we come back, it'll be game 3 for this squad circuit, baby.
Even wilder, for sure.
We'll be right back. ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Back at it again with the white vans. What do you mean? I hope you enjoyed that 10-minute intermission. I hope you got your snacks, your drinks. Let's go ahead and go back to the panel to get ready for Game 3.
I
Again,
really have this thought that Game 3 is where we're gonna have the best play. I used to do a little bit of theater, and it was always the second to last show was the best. So I'm gonna say Game 3, we're gonna be going the craziest out of any of the games.
I definitely agree. As we saw, actually, with the solo circuit, Game 3, people started to pick it up. People started to get warmed up. They started to play better. And I presume that it is going to be the exact same for our squad circuit. But man, the first 2 games have been nothing less than utter euphoric excitement.
Yeah, it was really just crazy. I wish I was playing, but it's so great to be able to take a step back during all that action and see really what's going on and try to gather like some kind of macro game perspective of what everything means. So exciting to see this high level of play. And third game's going to be where it's at. I'm almost positive. I can feel it.
Yeah, I definitely feel some spicy plays coming for Game 3. Let's go ahead and take a look at the panel for the points, rules, and of course, the rewards.
Big rewards, very exciting. And, you know, the community has all been really, really great about this tournament. And so far, everything has gone just as we had hoped in terms of, you know, some really great high-level Royal Crown gameplay. It's been awesome.
Couldn't agree with you more. Just a reiteration for after we play the 4th game, we will likely take another brief intermission just so we can tally up all the points and make sure that we have the applicable information to announce the winners, and then we will take a segment at the end of that to announce it live. But that being said, even though I thoroughly enjoy casting these events, it does 100% make you want to play.
Absolutely. I just imagine, you know, what it would be like to be one of those Violets or one of those Leos. And because, you know, you don't get to experience that just in a match-made lobby. You know, even with high pop match-made lobbies, you're not playing with this caliber of player. And even if you are, there's maybe a handful in the lobby. It's not a 30-man full of them.
This is very true. Having a completely stacked lobby changes the flow of the game. We've said it time and time again, but we need to keep putting this on the forefront of our minds, because if people get a little bit too comfortable knowing that there are potentially bots around and they don't have to, you know, worry about getting ganked, you know, by, you know, a team of 3, and they don't have to really worry about getting pushed out of their usual loot path, they can just be comfortable at all times. And this is definitely testing people's ability to adapt.
Yeah, a lot of adapting, especially when there are so many opportunities for you to potentially get set back, you know, an early death, and you might want to throw in the towel. But if you stay on your toes and you stay focused, yeah, it's possible for you to do some really crazy stuff even from behind.
Couldn't agree with you more, Glorified. What would you want to see moving into Game 3 with some of the teams that may not have been performing as well for the first 2?
You know, I think that there needs to be a little bit more of an emphasis on healing. You know, I know we saw a decent number of Edens. I know we saw a decent number of Melias, but I don't think enough of the comps have put enough emphasis on sustain. And so I'd like to think that in this Game 3, when everybody's working a little bit harder to potentially get that win, you know, we're going to see a little bit more of an emphasis on sustained fights rather than just all these big, you know, damage-heavy brawls.
That's a very interesting point. I also would like to see people essentially being a little bit more smart with their retreat. We've seen too many times within the first 2 games that people, in the process of them running away, they run directly into another squad. This is precisely what I was talking about, again, with the fact that you do not have as much space with this stacked lobby, people have to be more cognizant of where their teammates are and probably should opt to run in that direction to close the gap to get some assistance from their team.
Well, yeah, Spoog, that's also kind of feeding into what I was saying as well. You know, if you don't just focus on running away, if you also incorporate a little bit of sustain into that comp, you know, you're not going to be as dangerously running into the unknown as you are, or as we've seen so far. You know, I think if we had somebody who was always laying in the background of these fights, waiting for the escape, waiting to heal up their team while everybody runs, third partying is going to happen less often, and some teams are going to feel a little bit more, you know, balanced. I think so far there's been too much of an emphasis on CC, and I think we just need a little bit more healing.
That's a very interesting point. I will have to agree with that as well. Though Miru can heal, I do believe Eden is another good pick. So potentially we might see, you know, maybe even that of a double support composition coming into game 3, and maybe a little bit more emphasis on people that may not do as much damage, but can still, you know, take a fight to their own. So like, let's say a Leo and 2 supports. That would be scary.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Again, all because of that sustain. And as long as you're, you know, jumping in, doing your damage, getting out, and, you know, giving your team a little bit of time to get their cooldowns off, heal you up a little bit, you know, dive back in. I know Violet's really good at that. Leo's good at it too. You know, a little bit more sustained fighting. You know, people don't need to just say, okay, we're going to fight, fine. You know, all in right there, just run into each other, meat grinder. I think we're going to see some more strategic play in terms of, like you say, more, you know, more poking, less full commitment.
And with that being said, we can take that advice and let's jump on in to game number 3.
Yeah, really excited to see what people begin to pick here. Now, Diren, I see just locked into Selkie, and I may be wrong, but I don't think I've seen a Selkie yet.
I do believe you're correct. Diren usually plays Neva. This is a very interesting swap up with their squad. They actually might be trying to utilize the fact that Selkie can do a lot of burst damage if she is left alone. But where she is powerful in raw damage, she lacks in escapability.
Yeah, she only has 1 dash, and her CC has pretty reasonable cooldown on it. You know, it's not the best thing in the world. And with a squad comprising of Zasha on Korik and Hydrocide on Eden, I'm wondering if they have enough CC to really pull off the kind of crazy Selkie ult that, you know, I imagine Diren is picking Selkie for, you know, that big CC chain into the Selkie ult. I just don't know where that CC chain's going to come from.
Very true, and not to be mistaken with the actual player Eden, who is busted out the Ballista. He is originally a Ballista main anytime that he is playing solos, and they are opting to go for a full harass team Marsh, popping out the Kaiba Arrange, jumping over to Leo. So this team could potentially be very devastating.
Now, I know that Marsh and Arrange and Eden Vibe are all, you know, great players, and I'm not trying to come at any of them at all, but I think that's an awful comp. I really do. I mean, there's no sustain built into there whatsoever. They have a lot of displacements that are potentially going to push people away from Eden Vibe's ballista turrets. I don't like the comp. What are your thoughts on it? I think that it's a little sloppy.
I can see where you are thinking that this potentially is a horrible comp because there is no supports. There's not very much, you know, sustainability to stay in a fight. However, where they lack on the support side and sustainability, they have personally enough kit to be relevant, you know, individually. So on the off chance that either one of them get caught out, they have the escape. They have the dashes, they have the shields, they have the peel. You know, I think they actually might be going for an early elimination tactic here.
So here's what I really hope out of them. This will be the goal, and hopefully we catch it if it does happen. I want to see a Kaiba or a Leo ult, a Kaiba or a Leo stun on one of Ballista's turrets. I want to see it.
Yeah, I would very much like to see that happen. What we are seeing right now, Billiam getting into an exchange with Vion and his squad. Danny will be right there to possibly peel him out. Oh, nice smackaroo from Danny on Nina. Nice teleport from Billiam. They will be able to get a lot of distance here. Catching up to a Morgan is relatively difficult because they can slow as they're running away and also heal. Danny Sword will be able to there for the follow-up knockup. I think they are going to be completely chased out of this area. I do not know if Vion should choose to chase this down entirely, but it looks like they might want to. But no, they decide that it is not going to be worth it. Or is it? Say, Ward, this looks personal. Glorified.
Yeah, this is the kind of chase that really starts to get questionable right about here. What is killing them really accomplish for you, unless they know for a fact that Billiam and Danny are on, their own squad? I doubt they know it, and for all they know, they're going to get rezzed down the line. I think stopping the chase there was wise. Oh, but it seems like the chase may still be going on, or perhaps they're just moving in the same direction?
No, this is
What do you
definitely...
think's about to happen here?
They are trying to fight this 100%. There is no way that they are going to let this go, but they have to be careful. Billiam has been piecing them up this entire time. He will have ultimate here relatively shortly. They might be able to possibly turn this around. Nice wall from Billiam to separate them. Good knock up from Danny to follow up. And they are still on the run.
It's not worth the point. I'm telling you, Spoog, and I wish I could tell them. I really don't think this is worth the point. They're going to take forever to get these kills. Nina is really aggressive with her CC. They keep missing their skill shots. It's not worth the point.
Yeah, they are getting extremely low on mana as well. Billiam does have ultimate here. They have to be careful if Danny gets his ultimate as well. They will have a nice double down ultimate. Billiam looking to possibly, turn and make a move. He is charmed out. He might be forced to pop ultimate here. Danny will be close by, but it's not going to be enough. He's not doing a lot of damage with his ultimate. He may be forced out again, and they are still on the full run. What is going on?
Nina has such a powerful W. I have a feeling they may be leveling that first. And, along with the natural healing that Morgan gets, this is not the kind of chase that's going to end easily. Just because Sewori, Volpe, and Vion are a full 3-man and they have a lot of damage. Ooh, but the charm does go off, and Billiam is about to go down here. It does end up paying off, but just as the Nina should have, they disengaged, and there will end up being a revival as long as the Nina is able to, steer clear of other squads that might want to do her harm. A really, really questionable decision there. And it feels bad to, shine that decision in a good light. At least they did get the kill and get a little bit of gear, but man, what a weird play. What a weird choice.
Yeah, this not only was a questionable play, the vast majority of them do not have anything. Sewori is literally naked right now. They are able to get a little bit of rock. Vion has a few pieces of gear. Volpe having a few pieces of gear as well. But as you stated, that is only one kill. That is not a squad wipe. That does not count.
And what
as
did
a
they
point.
do? They set back a team that's already set back. And then they set themselves back. It's not worth it at all.
Yeah.
They're only a 2-man. There's no way for them to know it, but that ended up being very, very, very bad, I would say. I don't think it's going to work out for them.
Yeah, I don't know if it will. And just like that, the karma wheel is turned right back around. Yurtro and Mihawk, who are also a 2-man squad, turning it on Vion and his squad.
Oh, wait a
my
minute,
goodness.
Spoog. Are you telling me that when people fight early and don't get gear, they become massively outplayed in the mid-game?
I think that's exactly what we're seeing here. Zasha coming in for the third party, able to swipe away one of the kills. Mihawk still able to stay in. Vion dropping. The only one left alive is Volpe. He is now completely forced out. This is precisely what we were talking about. You cannot run after squads like this. Not only did they chase the squad half across the map, they didn't bother grabbing the pap from Coral Cliff. They do not have cards. And the zone is now closing in on that area. So now the only place to get cards is down in Oasis, River of Life, and Fairies Lake, where there will likely be teams waiting.
Imagine having no items and chasing someone from Coral Forest to Miner's Tavern. I mean, that is just so questionable and under any circumstance.
Definitely questionable. Niru in a very tight spot here. Sea Monster trying to box them in. They will be able to get the stun trap down, but it's not going to be enough. They will be able to clean up Niru. This is the second time that they've been caught out solo.
Yeah, well, we saw it ever since the first game. Nero loves to split up in the early to mid game. And, it's starting to catch up with them. Nero has to start sticking to their squad a little bit more like glue.
Very true. That is clearly a solo mentality. And I really hope that people start, realizing that it is very inefficient to be that split from your team. Darren actually getting Altair very low. Zasha will be here for the follow-up. They will be able to knock Altair entirely. They might actually be looking for more. Darren does have ultimate. They have to be careful. If Darren does get a nice lineup with his E, we could potentially see a complete deletion ult here on the Selkie. There it is.
Oh, and there's the ult. There it is. Getting 3 people. He does have to cancel it a little bit early, but huge damage. And now the Zasha ult to sort of create some peel. And Zasha's going in for this fight now.
Yeah, Zasha does not want them to heal up fully, as they will likely be able to possibly turn the fight, as Hydrocide is now coming in from the north side for the assist. They will be able to stop some of this healing, as Hydrocide will be able to catch them a little bit. No, they actually decide to back it up a little bit. Totem getting them a little bit pieced up. Mirror 101 trying to go back and heal. I think they might be looking for a re-engage or possibly disengage to go to Kobolds.
Yeah, I think at this point, both squads just want to get their loot up. You know, they want to try to make back some of the consumables that they had to spend on that fight. I think they don't really want this engagement. I don't think either of them want it, and I think that's a pretty good move.
Yeah, probably was for the best. ZB, Bike Kicker, and iLooker farming up in the turtle area. Looking really solid. They haven't really had too much action. They're going for a little bit more passive. I presume that last upset, they are going to try to make sure that they have everything that they need in terms of utility on the off chance that they are dropped individually on the last zone.
Of course, they're going to have to get clear of the coral area soon because it's going to be boxed out of the zone relatively quickly within the next 2 circles for sure. You know, they do have easy access to one bridge, so that'll be no problem.
I agree. Zasha and his squad are actually getting zoned out of Kobolds by Sea Monster and his squad. They tried to go for a little bit of an exchange, but I do believe that Sea Monster and his squad are a little bit more geared than Zasha's squad. But I mean, I don't know if they can hold it off. They are just opting to farm this. This is very risky to do, knowing that there is a team nearby. There is no way they allow this.
Yeah, it just goes to, you know, they are seemingly up on gear, though, so you can see that they're, you know, maybe a little bit confident, perhaps overconfident, but, you know, now that they've been contested, it looks like they're just giving it up. They've gotten what they need, and they don't want to waste any more.
Precisely. Kind of puny, actually getting caught on Siyu in the wolf area. Marsh able to clean that up, also able to clean up Togami, leaving Altair by his lonesome. Does get hit with a perfect bomb right into Eden. Eden will likely possibly try to chase this down. Altair will be able to E away, but Eden is able to mount up, but no, decides to back it off and regroup with his team.
Yeah, Altair's going to be able to get out of that one relatively easily. You know, good for Altair. His team's going to need him.
Very true. Silly actually getting a big 3-man ultimate on Bike Kicker and his squad, trying to peel for his team's teammates while they run. Oh no, that's not what you like, Silly. Silly accidentally volatile bombing himself back into Bike Kicker and ZB, and that may actually secure his death.
Luckily, Silly popped the Q and it was able to get Bike Kicker away, but the ZB spear is still going to be what probably ends up doing him in. Let's see if I'm clairvoyant.
Yes,
it does get him.
Clairvoyant, you are indeed, from downtown ZB, landing another step and spear. Very unfortunate. I do see what they were trying to do on Nina. It would have been a successful escape had they have not accidentally clicked the environmental volatile bomb.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate. They were really showing off how great Nina can be for the peel. You know, landing 2 people inside of your queue is not the hardest thing in the world, and it can have a huge impact. It can take people, you know, 1 second out of the game completely, which is huge in a team fight. So, Silly, you know, they still have a great kit. They just don't have any items right now.
Very true. Vion catching Vlad GG a little out of position. Tactical will be here for the assist. Actually playing the Kara. Unfortunately, volatile bombing themselves out of the fight. Vlad taking a lot of damage. He needs to throw the Q out. No, he decides to go for the stun and try to turn it on Sewari. I don't know if they want to take this fight. Unfortunately, dropping. Sasha is right there, looking to possibly poach some of what's going on here. Realizing that Sewari is low. Yes, he's waiting for his team, and this is it. Sasha trying to get into the backline, unsuccessful. Does get Sewari very low, dropping them entirely. Diren actually going for the potion right in front of their face to stay healthy. As again, Selkie cannot heal up very well. Vion a little on the run, forced to go over the wall. They decide to disengage and loot up a bit.
You could see the hunger in Zasha's eyes. He really wanted in on that fight. But it was wise of him to wait for his team to show up. And, you know, they tested the waters. Turns out maybe not the fight for them. I respect the call to call it off.
Indeed, they will be able to get a resurrect. I believe at Woodmill. Looks like Volpe is making their way over to Woodmill. Vion has to be careful. He might get caught out here by Yurtro. He might drop. High key. He will drop. Very unfortunate for Vion.
Yeah, they just revived Sewori as well. They should be able to get a revive off on Vion. No problem. And yeah, Volpe does just that.
Just like that, ZB, Buttkicker, and iLooker both have one legendary apiece running up on Zasha right now. Zasha trying to get the mount up in their face. No, ZB managing to land the first spear, and just like that, they're on the full sprint.
Zasha is in no position to be taking this fight. Neither is his squad. It definitely looks like they know it. And boy, are they hurting for gear right now.
Yeah, they're trying to take whatever battle that they can get and get out quick. Oh no, a little bit of a misplay here by Hydroside. He's forced to TP over the wall, likely, as you cannot walk out of there. Yes, we'll be able to go over safely. But there are a lot of people in this area.
Yeah, really big clump here. Potential third, fourth, fifth parties definitely are going to be around the corner.
Sewori dropping yet again after getting resurrected. Vion dropping as well. Volpe once again is by himself and in between two different squads.
Deep down, I really hope that we're going to see something out of maybe, you know, some team we don't expect, but it's feeling good for ZB and his squad. Feeling really good for him.
Yeah, this is definitely deja vu like. I feel like we've seen this for not just game 1, but also game 2. They have been extremely consistent, and that's what I've been telling people that are tuning in. You know, just because you're not winning games does not mean you cannot win the series, as it is all about consistency. Silly, unfortunately, getting caught a second time. Niru will likely be caught a second time as well. Unfortunately, does not dash through the wall, and that will be Niru's demise.
Yeah, we're getting dangerously close to some squad wipes here. Volpe is alone at the moment. So is Kata. So is kind of Puny. Yeah, we're definitely seeing some potential squad wipes.
Absolutely. Vion does get resurrected again for the second time. Unfortunately, does not have any items. Sewori does not have any items as well. Volpe is the only one on their squad that has anything still, but also does not have gloves or an accessory.
Yeah, now, you know, we were kind of trash talking Marsh and Eden Vibe and Arranged, and they're actually getting into a fight now with Billiam, who has no gear. They're all blue gear themselves, which is actually really good for the position they're in, even though we were talking smack.
Very true. Marsh did pop ultimate there. I don't know if that was absolutely necessary. Danny will have ultimate. They might actually be forced to drop it before dying here. Tactical going for a little bit of a dasharoo. Unfortunately, not making it through the wood wall. Looks like he's nice teleport, forcing Marsh squad and ZB squad to fight. Marsh trying to press F right in their face.
Party.
Yes, this is indeed a third party. Big poison potion, though, from Arranged on the Buttkicker, dropping him below half HP. ZB trying to come in for the follow-up on the Marsh. Marsh dropping below 25% HP. Going for the flash stun on the ZB. Does not connect against the wall. iLooker does pop ultimate, but it does not connect.
Yeah, and we're starting to see some of the power from Eden Vibe's Ballista turrets. They're doing really good in terms of letting them zone off to do the resurrection and maybe heal. Unfortunately, I don't think they're going to be able to get it off in time, and their lack of healing is likely going to end up being their downfall here. They can't escape.
This is not what you like to see. Mirror 101 and Rocket Arms catching them entirely out of position. A third party will come in. Ballista ultimate from Eden coming out, but it's not going to matter. ZB able to piece it up entirely. Now he is completely split from his team, and he will 100% drop because of it.
If Arranged drops, whoever gets that kill is likely going to get the point for this team takedown. Arranged needs to be super careful, or he's going to throw away any sort of favorable placement. It's still really early. There are a ton of teams, and Arranged is getting focused down here by Buttkicker and his squad. I don't think he's going to be able to get it out. There's too much damage. Arranged did not have enough of anything, and he does go down. The point goes to ZB squad.
very unfortunate for a range. He tried to shake and bake to get out of there. Sea Monster catching ZB and them out of position, or healing a little bit, but I don't think it's going to matter. They have a ton of damage. They are completely comfortable. Ultimate from Sea Monster does come out. Oh my god, 75% done to him almost immediately. The power of Steppen is unreal. This is now the zone shift. ZB is now in a very bad position, getting caught out a little bit. Forced to pop ultimate for the speed boost. Rocket now getting caught by Beyond and Volpe from behind, and they are able to escape.
With the Miru Melia, a mouthful there, but the Miru Melia combo is working out really good for them. They have some shielding, they have some healing. It's going to be very powerful, and luckily they are able to escape, probably thanks to that great comp they have.
Very true. As I stated earlier, a double support comp will actually be fire, and we are actually seeing that right now. Mirror 101 putting heavy damage on the Volpe. Vion as well. They will 100% drop, and that's it for them.
Yeah, you know, Rocket and Miru 101 showing that they can secure at least one more point as well as whatever they get for placement, which honestly, I have high hopes for what they're going to be able to pull out of their sleeve here. We'll see if they can get the res on Sea Monster. I can't quite tell on the map, but it looks like maybe they won't be able to. No more available options after this circle. Yeah, Sea Monster's out.
Very true. Vlad is also out, and Tactical will likely drop here as well. Unfortunate for him, Zasha will be able to clear up a lot of that area. But just like that, at the same time, they're not in the clear just yet. There are still two squads in a very close proximity. Yurtro trying to get away from ZB Bike and iLooker. Mihawk is in the back of the zone. It looks like he's lagging a little bit. It looks like he might be chopping up and getting caught in the zone, but Bike Kicker sees that they are low health and they will 100% collapse on this. Oh no.
This keeps looking better and better for ZB.
Forced to press R as there was nothing else that he could do. This is a free kill. Silly and them are trying to pick up scraps, anything that they can find, as they are significantly behind. Bike Kicker, iLooker, and ZB will likely keep them at bay and not fully engage this fight because they know that Darren, Zasha, and Hydrocide are just to the south. Kata trying to do what he can, but the zone is going to shift again in about 12 seconds, and they can't sit back here and heal. They are not going to allow this. Zasha finally going in deep. Force the TP out of the zone. And Niru is getting a little bit of damage and actually goes for the offensive teleport, which is questionable. But it is not going to be enough. Silly will be able to get a little bit closer to the zone, but unfortunately will drop. Darren now turning his attention onto Altair. Lots of engaged here. Bike going on to Yurtro, catching them a little out of position. Mirror 101 and Rocket are there for the follow-up. Oh, that's unfortunate for Yurtro. Popped the Mana Crystal, but it actually went very bad for him as he caught a Melia ultimate right after. Lots of engagements here. ZB will be able to clean up Yurtro. Rocket and Miru 101 on the south side of the zone, able to heal back up to full. We are now in a 3v3v2 situation. Big Spear coming out of ZB.
Yeah, it seemed like 1 minute there were a ton of teams. The next minute there was just utter chaos. And now we're down to a 3v3v2. Last time we saw this, the two-man actually won. So who knows what we're going to see this time.
Yeah, I do believe each team is in a relatively good spot to kind of just keep their distance and peel for each other. ZB has free range right now. He will easily be able to just keep chucking spears. Rocket on the south side, however, will also be able to keep throwing squirrels, making it a little bit difficult for both teams to fully engage on everyone. And it's just going to come down to which direction the zone is going to shift to give the advantage to whatever team is there.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, Rocket Arms and his squad are disadvantaged, but they aren't out of the game yet, obviously. And it's going to be a very competitive final few circles. Now, again, it's going to be hard to think about ZB and his squad not winning. But, you know, who knows what Rocket Arm and Zasha's squad are going to do? It's possible that they all kind of end up teaming up a bit.
Very true. I don't know if you just saw that. I don't know. Was that a BM legendary weapon drop in front of both teams? ZB dropped his legendary weapon. Bike Kicker picked it up and then dropped it back. I don't know if that was BM or if that was accidental and Bike Kicker is just helping out his teammate to the accidental click.
Yeah, it seemed like they might be trading gear, but, you know, like you say, they kind of swapped it back and forth. Maybe they're just playing some basketball.
Yeah, it looks like Hot Potato is definitely on the list of things to eat. Bike Kicker in a very good position to possibly catch everyone that is left in the lobby out of position. He does have ultimate. They now have the betterment of this zone. Here we
Yep,
go.
they're in a very favorable position here, throwing spears, doing big damage to Zasha, and a whiffed Selkie ult. That's going to really hurt down the road. I don't know if she's going to be able to farm it back up. That ult, ooh, it's everything that Selkie relies on.
Yeah, that's not what you like to see. They definitely needed that ult. However, Hydroside and Zasha still do have their ultimates. ZB, Bykicker, and iLooker are still in the best position here, even though Mirror 101 and Rocket Arms do have somewhat of a decent chance. They have the most damage here, I do believe. They should be able to keep their distance and only fight whoever decides to jump in. iLooker will have his ultimate to completely peel. He actually decides to pop it on both Rocket and Mirror 101, catching both of them in the charm, and just like that, that is a squad elimination.
Yeah, that was really, really smart move there. They had the opportunity to fight without getting third-partied, and they took it, but now the final fight is upon us.
Nice poison potion to zone off Zasha and Diren. They are in a great position right now. Big ultimate from Hydroside, however, over the wall, forcing ZB to pop a Fury. Volatile bomb from Hydroside to try to keep ZB into the zone. Diren actually will drop because of his Zasha trying to run away in front to regroup with his teammate. Unfortunately, it's not going to be enough. ZB completely piecing Zasha up as if he was paper. ZB hitting a big spear on Hydroside, and they take the game.
And, you know, just as expected, they were really prepared. They fought really, really well at the end. They had all the consumables. They had, all, you know, great, great items. I can't say I'm surprised to see ZB take it there, but perfect execution on their plan. And the kills really say everything to you right there. Look at all those kills.
Absolutely. Literally. 9 kills on ZB alone, 31,000 damage, 30,000 damage from Bykicker, and 19,000 damage from iLooker on a support character. Plus the addition of 23,000 recovery. They are playing out of their mind. I actually think they woke up this morning and they talked to each other. They said, look, light work today. Light work. And they are really proving themselves tonight.
They are. They're just literally sitting there putting in their reps as if it was any other day. And it's like they're going to snap out of it at one point and be like, hey, wait a minute. You know, this is Royals League, right? And they're going to be like, oh, well, great. But they're playing perfectly. And yeah, you can tell that they have practiced quite a bit.
I definitely agree. GG overall from everyone. But man, the consistency from this squad is astronomically different than what I have been seeing from everyone else.
Yeah, that was really, really something. ZB with those spears, I had a little moment of clairvoyance there. And trust me, it's nothing to do with me. I just know that ZB like has that laser eye. He's going to throw that spear right where it belongs. And yeah, sure enough, he had some crazy predictions and, you know, crazy plays. Anything stand out to you there, Spoog?
There's just so much going on in that last zone. Mirror 101 and Rocket tried to do their best at the fact that Sea Monster had dropped earlier, a couple zones prior, but unfortunately there was nothing that they can do. And I do believe iLooker got a beautiful 2-man ultimate on Rocket Arm, securing that squad elimination. And unfortunately, earlier, when Rocket was still alive with Miru, Diren had the missed ultimate onto Bykicker's team, which inevitably might have helped them for that last fight.
Yeah, that's right. And, you know, missed ultimates really had quite the appearance in these matches because there was a Selkie ult at the end there, struggling to think about exactly what team it was, but, you know, they just completely whiffed their ult, and that was a huge amount of damage that came out of that squad. And yeah, very unfortunate to see people missing those ultimates when so many champions rely on those ultimates. So many team comps rely on landing those ultimates. I mean, their entire comp, I believe, was centered around, you know, keeping some enemies locked down with a bit of a CC chain. The CC chain just never happened.
Yes, it is very unfortunate indeed, as there are many things that could have went different ways had they have made better decisions earlier in some of these fights. But we are now back to the panel. Man, game 3, this is exactly what I was talking about. Let's briefly talk about the questionable rundown early game that happened from Rainbow Coral all the way up to Minor Tavern. I'm not sure if this was a meme. I'm not sure if this was personal, but this is not what you want to do. By chasing someone that far, every second that you are not looting is setting you behind all of the other teams that are looting. They not only didn't have items, they ran completely by Pap. they had zero utility and they had no way to secure each other's safety if they were third party, which inevitably happened.
Yeah, I was playing in one of the custom lobbies with a couple of my friends, and one of the games, like every game, we just had a goal. We're like, okay, we're gonna go for placement this game. We're gonna go for kills this game. And one of them, we're like, let's just disrupt. Let's disrupt what's going on. And it felt like that was their strategy there. It's like they had no mind for winning whatsoever. They just wanted to create chaos, which, hey, I mean, it made the beginning of the game very interesting. But I firmly believe that was a very, very bad call. They ran for so long without gathering anything. And it's not like they were sitting on a big like stockpile of loot to begin with. They had almost nothing. They should have just farmed up and gone for a completely different engagement at a completely different time. What did they gain out of that? And what did they do after die?
More of like I said, it kind of felt like it was more of like a meme. It almost did feel somewhat like a sabotage, like I will run you down, and if I don't get loot, you don't get loot kind of situation, which honestly, I'm not that surprised, right? Like, I have seen very similar behavior, especially for losers brackets, for some professional games in esports, where the team is completely cognizant that they are not taking, anything of the big value home, so they're trying to take someone else with them, right? So some of these bigger teams that could potentially have the capacity to be, top 3, top 5, they are just trying to do as much damage as possible, both inside and outside of the game.
That's just so toxic, though. And they're being like, it was such a troll because if you remember, it was a 2-man squad that they were chasing. So it's not like there were going to be any, serious threat in that game or like necessarily in the tournament. I mean, I don't want to say being a 2-man is throwing away the game because it's not necessarily true, but like, come on, they're already at such a huge disadvantage just tournament wide. That chase down did more damage to themselves than it did to the 2-man.
Right, definitely agree. So let's take another brief moment to look at the rules, points, and prize page. Everything is on the screen. Super Future, I am breaking the fourth wall and speaking to you directly. I couldn't help but notice one of your messages earlier that you were possibly wanting to switch around how we were going to accumulate the eliminations, because it is very difficult to try to see who is eliminating what. So definitely keep me in the loop with that. Back to the Persona. Boom, bada bing. Game 4, Glorified. What should we expect moving into Game 4?
I hate to say it, but I also think that I'm only right to a certain degree. I think this is going to be the game of caution. All of the teams have landed just about where they're going to land, and it's going to be up to the really, really big names that we've been seeing, like ZB, Eilooker, Bike Kicker, Rocket Arms, Sea Monster, 101. We're going to be seeing them really try to focus on not taking risks. Now, on the flip side, we're going to see the duos probably completely troll. They're going to be the ones chasing people down. Now, they're going to be the ones throwing caution to the wind. People who consider themselves low in the placement, they're going to be, taking more risks, trying to really, mess with the equilibrium of the tournament. Because right now, if something doesn't happen that seriously hinders ZB, Eilooker, Bike Kicker, they might run away with the tournament. So, we could see some targeted trolling at them, but it's hard to say if the players can really pinpoint who is who, when they're actually in the game.
This is definite, all good points here, Glorified. I think this also might be why I may have briefly talked about this in solos. There are people that are using skins that they usually use. I am also a part of the spectrum. Whenever I play Kaiba, I use the Arabian Kaiba skin with the crown and the monocle. And I think what people might think about doing, yes, I understand drip is important to a lot of people, but it might be beneficial to deliberately go with a stock look just to confuse people with who you actually are.
Yeah, for a concrete example, like I know exactly what Zasha's Korok looks like. It kind of looks like Chow with a hammer, and that image haunts my dreams. But like I can kind of visually identify Zasha even without a name in a game because he always uses a very distinct Korok skin. So I think you're absolutely right, Spoog, and I hope that some of these big names do end up trying to be a little bit more incognito, because Otherwise, they really could see themselves getting hunted down.
Honestly, you couldn't be farther from the truth. It is unfortunate knowing that, you know, moving into Game 4, we could potentially see a lot more sabotage than we did in Game 3. But you never know. Like, we could have an underdog completely swipe away first place, even though it seems unlikely at the current moment. And with that being said, let's go ahead and move to Game 4.
Yeah, Game 4 is, like I said, likely going to be more of a cautious game. And just as anticipated, we're seeing a lot more supports coming out this game, which really sort of feeds into that idea of, yeah, you know, maybe this really is going to be a more sustain-centric game. Look at all the Edens. Look at the multiple Bastines. We even have a Kara again. So this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be an interesting game. I'm personally an advocate of Kara. I know a lot of people are very feel as though she's underwhelming. But I guess I'm just being biased because she has a skin with deep purple hair, and y'all know I am about that life. But speaking of purple hair, we actually see a Rook coming out from Billiam.
Wow, that may be the first Rook of the tournament as well. You know, Rook, Nina, as a two-man in a squad lobby, I really respect that, and I kind of get it too. You know, that might actually make sense. Now, on the flip side, Eden Kara as a two-man, not so sure about that one. It seems like they're really going to be missing out on damage. Now, maybe you disagree, but I think Rook, Nina, strategic choice. Kara, Eden, maybe a little bit preemptive.
As far as Vlad and Tactical with the Kara Eden combo, I think they maybe going for much of a passive type of play, right? I think they may opt to run away entirely, stay away from fights, stock up on utility, and prey on the zone, right? They do have a lot of CC, and if it's utilized appropriately with the right zone shift, they could potentially do a lot of damage for unsuspecting victims.
That is true, and it does not take 3 people to survive into the top 5, 4, 3. You know, you can play stealthy. That definitely is an option, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see some of these two-mans really digging into that strategy.
I definitely agree with you there. Mirror 101 getting a little bit pieced up here. Marsh forcing him to TP through the building. He will be able to escape. Marsh asserting his dominance early on Kaiba.
Yeah, it seemed like a questionable TP. Seems like she could have just run away, but nonetheless, there is no chase, so it was a successful escape.
Quite frankly, to be on the safe side, fighting a Kaiba indoors is not what you want to do. Kaiba thrives around environment as you can stun people into the wall with his E. Sewori, Vion getting a little bit caught out here with a Silly in their squad here, down by Desert Maze. They are on the full sprint away. Niru is trying to focus Sewori down. Volpe trying to come in for the assist. Will be able to do so. A little bit of back and forth. I don't know if this is something that you want to continue to fight. Vion will be able to kite away and heal up. Sewori able to escape, throws the charm to split them up. Kata deciding to go back in. I don't know if that's the right play. They may not be respecting their damage. And just like that, Sewori drops. Vion does have ultimate, I believe. Did he pop it? No, okay.
He just got it, yep.
Yeah, just got it. Pops ultimate. Niru getting focused down entirely. Doing very well for the fact that this is 1v3 right now.
Volpe actually left and is now realizing that he should be coming back in. His teammate's actually doing okay.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit of miscommunication there. Volpe may have been able to get a resurrect off on Sewori. Now it is a 2v2, but for how long? Niru able to back off and possibly heal up a little bit.
Yeah, you know, if Volpe had just stayed in this fight, this might be a little bit like better for Volpe and his squad. I mean, Vion did a really good job taking them on 1v3.
Yeah, they did a very good job of trying to keep them at bay, but now they're on the full sprint. Vion and Volpe now have got them on the run, and I think a third party coming in from Vlad GG.
This really is another one of those situations, though, where no matter who wins, like, what was really gained? Like, this fight is taking forever and nobody is farming.
Oh my goodness, they do manage to knock down Silly. That is very unfortunate for them. Very unfortunate. I don't
They end
know
up
if-
trading 1-for-1, and now both squads are at a pretty severe disadvantage. I mean, you can argue that Volpe and his squad had more of an opportunity to take gear.
Yeah.
So, you know, you could argue that they turned it around, you know, for the positive, but so much time was spent there, and the first zone's already come in, cutting off a lot of gear that they may very well need.
Yeah, Kata actually got caught out by Tactical and was dropped. Neru was able to get the resurrect, but take a look at their health. They have not been able to heal at all. And I 100% believe that iLooker and ZB will 100% collapse on this opportunity. As expected, they catch Silly out yet again, forcing them entirely out of this area. Neru and Kata are not in a good position here. They do not have pretty much anything, and they are completely surrounded by people.
Yeah, and Volpe's squad ended up also losing their Morgan, which is the Vion. And so they definitely felt some negative repercussions from that as well.
Very true. However, because they are all magicians, well, using magic weapons, the south side of the continent, Conch Nest and Rainbow Coral, are very good places to get your gear back. So, I think though that they are fresh resurrected, they will have a good opportunity to get a little bit that's in the area, whatever's left over, and possibly farm up some turtles.
This is where build flexibility is a really big aspect, because if they can just shift their build into a lot of things they can get out of Conch, they should be okay here.
But Vlad GG, however, is not okay, as the raid boss squad themselves running him down entirely. I swear, all three members of the squad, the moment that switch goes on, the blood, it just starts spreading. Like, has anyone played League of Legends? Warwick and his scent ability? That's what I sense with their squad.
Yeah, just all reason evades them, and they just become these animals of combat.
Just 100% bloodlust. And who else has bloodlust? Zasha, Diren, and Hydrocide on Marsh right now, dropping him below 50% HP. Nice Q from Diren. Marsh again. Nice moves from Marsh. So shaking, baking a little bit. Unfortunately. Oh, nice stun from Marsh. Utilizing Kaiba's kit effectively. He will have the passive reset. We'll get the shield here, but unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be enough. No. Will drop because of it. That is unfortunate. Oh, but wait a minute. Eden trying to come in for the assist. Will Eden be able to save him here? I don't think he will. Sasha and
Eden
Diren
might
are
actually go
very
down
scary.
as a result of that.
This is not where you want to be. Eden is now next on the chopping block. He does not have a lot. He does have utility. He will be able to dash. He might double back onto his stun trap. No, decides not to do that. Pops the speed scroll. Zasha is still running by. Zasha will be able to mount up. Eden should mount up in this opportunity. Okay, he manages to do so. A little bit of a chop lag. He will be able to escape. But Range and Eden are a little bit behind because Marsh got killed.
You know, Eden Vibe really showing us that they can work a lot with a little in terms of peeling. And, I mean, you know, luckily they were able to escape there, although it was risky, because letting both Eden and Marsh go down there would be tough for a ranged.
Very, very true. Eden, however, this is what we were talking about. Like, their composition is solely based off of being able to survive by your lonely. Eden is compensating for the fact that they do not have a healer by taking Bloody Dagger as well as the leather armor to have a little bit more attack speed to, you know, life sap, essentially. I would like to have seen him drop Perseverance for Thirst just to have a little bit more oomph with the lifesteal, but we will see how effective this build is.
Yeah, so that leather armor, is Eden getting any use out of that magic attack, or is that sort of a throwaway stat for them?
I think it's a throwaway stat, really just trying to get the attack speed increase to complement the Bloody Dagger for the life sap. Again, I would have liked to see a Thirst come out just to, like, double down on that, or maybe even Bloody Gloves. Just something to make up for only having one item to life sap for, or instead of going the leather armor, taking the life sap legendary armor instead.
True.
Okay, Vlad GG actually getting caught up by Eden and Marsh. Will drop here. I don't think they will get much for this kill, but, you know, anything will help, as Marsh is likely... Oh, wait, he's not naked. He looted his body. How did that happen?
Well, you know, that fight went on for a reasonable amount of time, and they did turn their attention towards the Eden vibe, so I guess he was able to get away. Wow, they just smacked Kata. Just so much damage. I thought the fight was going to continue, but by the time I was done, yeah, he just got completely melted by the entire squad of Eden vibe, Arrange, and Marsh. Wow.
There was not much you could do there. Nice flash stun from Marsh to start that fight, and then to follow up with the ultimates of the double stun. Stonehide boots coming out, likely to go to Arrange or Marsh. They should probably give it to Arrange, as Arrange does a little bit more HP percent damage. Oh, Sea Monster getting into a fight with Zasha and Darren. Darren getting extremely low. He is powered. He can't do anything. Will drop because of it. Sea Monster now popping his ultimate on Zasha. Zasha is cognizant of the fact that he just had to stay in the middle, and until he is able to teleport out, he is 1v3ing right now, but I don't know if it's going to be enough.
No, Zasha had a little bit too much hubris on that one, and despite the fact that he was overgeared, he was not able to take on all three. That is going to be a huge setback for Zasha and his squad. Ooh, that kind of hurt to watch.
Yeah, that is a massive setback at level 10 this late into the game. Yes, Hydroside will be able to resurrect them both, but my question is, where was Hydroside in that exchange?
Yeah, a little bit of a split up at a strange time. You know, you don't expect to see people splitting, you know, when there are level 10s roaming around. Although, again, Sea Monster, Rocket Arms, and Miru 101 are definitely some better known players here. They have some pretty decent skills.
They do indeed have skills. Sea Monster does not have any boots right now, but I'm sure they will be able to get something here soon. But yes, very unfortunate. I do expect this late in the game that you're essentially running as a unit with your team to avoid those types of situations from happening, because if Hydroside was with them, I think they win that fight.
Well, yeah, and I mean, Zasha thought he was going to win it, you know, right as he did, or I guess I shouldn't say that. He perhaps accepted death, I'm not sure. But it really ended up not being all that close, and yeah, they definitely needed their other team member there, although I'm not so sure that it would have been easy. You know, at least they would have had the sustain coming from the Eden.
Very
am I wrong about that?
Just like that. Marsh is actually getting a little bit of poetic irony here, turning the tide on the Hydroside and his squad. Catching him out entirely. Zasha will be able to mount up and get away unless Marsh can possibly get a TP auto. Yes, he manages to land that. He will 100% run Zasha down as he realizes that he has likely just been res, and he will be able to get this kill. Actually goes for the BM ult. That was not necessary. He did not need to ultimate there, but I think that was just a 250% secure the fact that Zasha will drop there. And just like that, they got their revenge play for killing Marsh earlier on.
Yeah, and that just goes to show, you know, that revenge feeling, that desire for revenge would never have existed if everyone just played nice early on. So Zasha can really sort of blame his early decisions for that little spiteful attack there.
Very true. I'm sure that felt really good for Marsh. Probably getting a little bit annoyed that they ran him down as they did earlier, but they were able to secure those kills, and that is the first squad wipe of Game 4.
Wow, I did not even realize that Zasha and his squad are down now. What a terrible situation for them in this tournament. That could certainly put them behind several places. That's really, they're going to feel that one in the morning, I suppose you could say.
Yeah, that is extremely upsetting indeed. Had they have, like I said, had Hydroside been with them in Conch Forest, they would have been fine. Like, I seriously believe that if they had their support there, they win that fight down there. They would not have even been in that position.
Yeah, and if they hadn't fought so early, maybe they could have had some better gear to sustain their way out of that one there. Yeah, I mean, a lot of places you can point to where they went wrong, but really hurts to see that.
Very true. Kind of puny. Getting a little caught out here. Altair, a little bit of miscommunication. They were trying to farm up some slimes, but I think the call from Altair should have come out. Hey, there is a team coming, but that did not seem to be the case. Even though Altair saw Eyelooker's squad, I know maybe you can't see the names, we can, but still, a call out should have been made to kind of puny to disengage off that slime and run away.
Yeah, I wanted to give a shout out to Vlad GG. You know, I haven't seen him all too much, so I have a feeling he might be a sub or he might be filling. So huge shout out to him. He did just get smacked by Marsh in a range. But yeah, just shout out to him for being a good sport.
Very true. Big 3-man ultimate from iLooker on the Eden in the Sea Monster squad. Oh my god. Dropping 2 members almost immediately. Oh gosh. What just happened?
Oh yeah, and Togami in a terrible position now. The sole survivor of their squad, but it looks like they're going to get the res off.
That is extremely unfortunate for Sea Monster and his squad. They were in such good position to possibly take this game, but iLooker says no, getting a 3-man charm, and they 100-0 all 3 members within a few seconds.
And they were a really high-standing team now. There are some big gaping holes on the top of this leaderboard that now we're going to see some maybe lesser expected teams take advantage of. Really exciting to see who's going to come in first, second, third.
Very true. iLooker trying to keep his team healthy. Big poison potion on the bike kicker, but unfortunately Marsh is caught into it with the friendly fire. Very unfortunate. Marsh dropping there. They did have a good chance of winning this fight, but the miscommunication is to who was going to be throwing what utility. And because of that, Marsh actually gets killed because of his team.
Some really good decision making from ZB and his squad. You know, we've seen very little out of them this game so far, and they're still standing where some of the other greats are not. So I think we have to say, you know, if they do end up coming out on top in this, it's some great strategy from a tournament perspective, all 4 games.
Absolutely. Unfortunately for Danisaur, he is eliminated on that last exchange. Saywori and Volpe trying to stop a range from healing. 75% from Saywori. The burst damage from Sasha out of this game is insane, but no. Saywori will drop. They need to get the res now as Utro and Mihawk are nearby. Do they hear this? They do indeed. They're going to be able to stop this resurrect. They might be able to collapse on this entirely and possibly stop this team from recovering. Saywori doing what they could beforehand, actually bursting down 2 people with ease, as Sasha has some of the biggest burst in the game, but unfortunately drops in the process. Will Vion and Volpe be able to turn this around, as they are both looking a little rough? ZB doing what ZB does, putting in damage. Oh, he has to be careful though. He got slapped by Bart. Bart is also playing step in. Looker will be able to heal him up easily. ZB will be able to pot up effectively.
Right, yeah, Bardo and Mihawk have pretty decent items. You know, they're almost right up there with ZB and the boys.
Yeah, they are sitting pretty solid, but it's going to come down to who gets the better exchange initially. And this could be it. They are trying to pop the Amelia ultimate. Unfortunately, only connecting with Bike Kicker, doing about 25% damage. They will be able to back off and heal back up. Look at the healing sustain from iLooker for his squad.
Yeah, absolutely. We were talking about how sustain is going to be a big part of these later games, and I think we're seeing it now. Every team that's here has some form of sustain, with maybe the exception of Silly and his squad. Well, not to mention a tactical.
Absolutely. Bike Kicker doing what he does, trying to get a little bit of damage. Yurtro does have ultimate. They will likely sit on that as long as possible. But if they wait too long to take this fight, they could get third party from another squad. Oh, look at this. Miru in the bush. Do they know? Oh, big brain. They do not trust any bushes this late, and it is precisely why. There was 100% a squad there. Bike Kicker backing it off. Try to heal. Just like that on the east side. A little bit of a exchange here. Niru able to back it off. Getting a little in a tough position here. It's getting slapped by ZB. 25% on that spear. Oh no, that is very unfortunate on that environment. Stopping his volatile bomb, and he will drop because of it. Kind of Puny trying to do what they can, but unfortunately they do not have items. That is a free 2 kills for iLooker and his squad. Oh my god. This is devastating to see.
Oh, but look, Togami, he has the statue, the goddess statue is gonna res.
Oh, big play from Togami. Shout out the EU. Togami has been really making it beautiful to
Kind
watch.
of Beauty gets rezzed in the zone, takes a huge take of damage. That's unfortunate.
And look at that, he actually managed to pick up a couple extra items to toss to his teammates. What a wonderful teammate, Togami.
Yeah, I want Togami on my team. What the heck?
Beautiful. Bike Kicker getting into an exchange. Again, Vion able to drop is going to drop, as well as Sawori. Bart will be able to pick up the final kill for that squad. I think he just might have swiped that point away, actually, if I'm not mistaken.
Ada and Tactical just trying to wait out the zone, just trying to like rack up those placement points.
Absolutely. ZB unaware that there are people in this bush, but it doesn't even matter. They will likely be pieced up entirely as they do not have items. Bytekicker able to follow up. ZB will be able to complete that. Bart trying to come in for the third party, realizing that there's a lot of action happening here on the west side of the zone. Bart does not able to get a decent spirit. Nice poison potion to try to zone off. Eilooker does have ultimate. He may be looking to go for an ult here. Looks like he's trying to save it till the absolute last moment. Roots coming in from the other side. Big damage on the Eilooker. About 75% immediately. Mihawk is slapping with Melia.
Togami's in a tough spot here as well.
Yep, force the TP over the wall. Not much he can do. Force the pop ultimate as well. That will allow Eilooker and his squad to heal up to full.
Ooh, who dropped that goddess statue? That was a big mistake from someone.
I'm not entirely sure. Zone is now shifting hard east. Bytekicker is in a very good position. He does have ultimate. He might go for a flash play. Hit by a stun. Mihawk will get the squirrels out. Tactical trying to TP back in zone. Not able to do so. Bytekicker. Eilooker. ZB. Again, W King. Togami taking a big spear. Now has to deal with 3 members of this squad. Yurtro trying to do what he can to stay ahead of the zone. Bart still able to pop spears from downfield. Will he be able to collapse? Big exchange. Zone is now shifting northeast. We have a full exchange. We have a 3v3 situation. Oh my god, big damage on the Bart. Popping almost immediately. Jesus Christ, ZB. Doing so much damage along with Bytekicker. This is now a 3v1 situation. There is not much Mihawk can do. I don't know how close they are to ultimate, but Jesus. They are unstoppable.
Man, I think that it's going to be difficult. We obviously have to still, count up the scores, but man, such an amazing play from ZB, Bytekicker, Eilooker. I think they might have taken it there. So many high placements, so many takedowns, so much damage. Look at that, 42k on ZB. It's just too oppressive. I don't think anyone's going to be able to do it. I think they might have taken this tournament.
Absolutely absurd gameplay coming out of this squad tonight. The bloodlust that they have shown, the aggression. It seems as though no one had an answer, and the only reason why they managed to lose the game was RNG, essentially, for the zone not being in their favor. But overall, GG's from everybody. But oh my goodness, the damage from ZB on the step-in. 42,000 damage, 7 kills for ZB, 2 for Eilooker, and 11 from Bytekicker. Let's take a look at their items. Most of them had legendaries. We had 3 legendaries on Bytekicker, 2 on ZB, 1 on Eilooker. Holy God. I'll say I said it before, I'll say it again. This was a moving raid squad.
Every game, too, they were so consistent. I know that you've said that, but they've been so consistent. Their pathing has been really on point. They've been grouped up when they need to be grouped up. They've been, completely passive when they need to be passive. And how are they rewarded? Well, with likely victory, because everybody who we saw fighting early, they were always putting themselves behind, and they were punished for it really hard. Zasha and his squad in that final game, but many more in others. So, long-term strategy is going to bode well in the tournament. I think that's what we've seen.
Absolutely agree with you there. Back to the panel now. Boy, what an event tonight. This has been no less than what I expected. Honestly, I'm super, super happy that we had a turnout like this. And Jesus, just step in. We've seen it time and time again. We've seen it in the solo cup. We are seeing it now in the squad cup. That champion is so strong if you know what you're doing. But let this be known, to everyone watching, to everyone that participated. Supports are important. Bytekicker and ZB would not have been able to pop off like that if it wasn't for Eilooker on Eden keeping them healthy and providing all of that support.
It's so true. And, I'm scrolling down right now, and every top team has at least one support. Everyone in the top everyone in the top 4 has at least one support. So, yeah, Steppen might be great. And Spoog, I would love to hear what you have to say in terms of Steppen nerf? ?
Quite frankly, we've talked about this in many podcasts that we've had in the past. Steppen does do a lot of damage, but it's not baseline. You have to know how to do a lot of damage. The reason why he has such a lot of burst capacity is because you are allowed to weave in autos in between most of his abilities. So you would Q, auto, W, auto, swap stance, auto, dash, auto, and then use his W for that as well. So it's not like Sasha where it's just like boom, 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 you're dead. That it's not like that. Like the mechanical ability you step in is out of this world. So the fact that ZB has that down pat, have a seat, pretty much. But with that being said, Glorified, we will take another brief intermission while Super Future is getting the charge accumulated so we can announce the winners. But when we come back, we will take another small talk about what just happened, and then finally end off with announcing the winners. We'll be right back.
So hype.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back Reno to announce the winners. But before we do that, I just want to take a brief moment to show appreciation to everyone that tuned in. It means a lot for everyone coming together, despite whatever everyone's plans may have been today or the state of the game. You know, this is precisely what we enjoy to do for everyone, and that's bring smiles for everyone involved, even if you're not playing. So we're going to go ahead and go back to the panel. And then I just want to briefly talk to you, Glorified. How has been your experience casting these events?
these events have been everything that I wanted them to be. You know, I was super excited for solos, and you know, I won't lie, a little disappointed it wasn't squads, just because I knew we were in for so much excitement. Now squads turn around. You know, I couldn't be happier with how it all turned out. Really great games, really interesting strategies, and just as we had hoped, we're looking at top tier Royal Crown gameplay. So interesting to be involved in. Spoog, you know, what were some highlights to you in this, you know, amazing tournament?
Honestly, there were too many to list. Most of them actually coming out of iLooker and ZB Squad. The consistency that they have brought for each and every single game was no less than phenomenal. However, there is one highlight that I would like to talk about. That's Miru 101 going for the Giga Brain rotation on that zone, securing that W for them at the very last second. They 100% would have lost that game had that have not been the case.
Yeah, we saw some amazing plays out of, you know, some great players, but I expected ZB and his squad to be more of a dominating force. It was great to see that spotlight being taken from some other squads, or, you know, being taken to some other squads, because we saw some great play, like you say, out of, you know, Miru 101 and, you know, their squad, as well as others.
Definitely agree. So if I am not mistaken, we do have the winners all situated.
Spoog, you gotta tell me what those are then. I'm so hyped for that.
But yeah, we have them here. I will be going from reverse order, so I will start with third, second, and then first. But before we do that, let's go ahead and get the Hyper Reno music. Yes, sir. We already know what one it is. All right. So, without further ado, in third place, we have one of the EU squads, Ravage, that is Altair, Togami, and Kinda Puny in third place.
Wow, you know, I just thought about how much work Togami put in those final two games in particular. You know, I remember him really sneaking around when he was the final one left, and I bet all that sneaking, all that persistence, staying alive through those final circles, amazing. Really good job, guys. I think they deserve it, and they did it from EU. Real big.
Yeah, as we saw, being in America, there was a bit of a chop lag issue, and the fact that they overcame that and still managed to take third place, definitely props to everyone. Claps all around, hypes in chat if you want to. Congratulations, Ravage, on getting third place. Without further ado, we have second place, Juice, which is Sea Monster, Gen, and Rocket Arms. For second place, baby.
Gen, just so everyone knows, that was Miru 101 that we were talking about. And again, we saw great play out of them, especially Rocket Arms. They were doing really important stuff for the squad, and it shows in their placement. Great job, guys.
Yeah, definitely. Congratulations to them. Again, consistency is everything in these events. Though they may not have been winning every single game, they have been consistent, covering each other's ass, and they managed to take second place. Congratulations, everyone. Hypes in the chat. Let's go. But without further ado, we got first place. Y'all should already know what it is. EBB, which is your boy ZB, iLooker, and Bike Kicker. Yes.
Oh, you're killing me, Spoog. But yeah, I mean, just like you said, of course, that's kind of what we all expected. ZB, such a dominant force throughout that game. Bike Kicker coming in second there, you know, always helping out ZB, always on his heels. And then iLooker giving them the sustain they needed to come in first. Nobody's surprised here. What amazing gameplay from all those players. All these squads, as a matter of fact. Everybody did a great job. But man, too easy for ZB.
Too easy for ZB. Yes, sir. Congratulations to all the winners. Do not be upset if you did not get top 3. Everyone's taking something home. Just get in contact with Super Future. For those of you that have the placements, you will be able to see the document. Just ask Super all that. I know, again, I want to take a brief moment to thank Super Future for setting all of the, getting the teams together, the lobbies, getting all that stuff. He's made our overlays. He's put in so much work on the website. Like Super Future, had he not done that, this would not be possible. I also want to take a brief moment to thank Glorified Ward for joining me on the panel tonight for the Shoutcast. It has definitely been a great experience. But
Yeah, absolutely, Spook. Thank you so much.
if you haven't already checked out our website, royalsleague.com, definitely check that out. I will drop the link right here. Even though we are doing Royal Crown right now, keep in mind we are going to be adding games sooner probably than later, right? This is going to be something that we can apply to a multitude of video games. So definitely be following our websites, be in tune with what we're going to be doing next. If you aren't joined in our Discord, definitely do that as well. I think we set this up, Discord. Will that work? Someone dropped the Discord link. Remind me to make the command for this as well. But yeah, this has been a phenomenal experience. I do thank everyone that's tuned in, and I from the bottom of my heart, I really want to show, like, I really appreciate you guys coming out. Like, you could have been doing anything the fuck else, but you stuck around to watch one of our events. So, it's been your boy SPOOG,
And the Glorified Ward.
and I guess we'll catch you in the next one. I will leave out on a page, and I want you to read this thoroughly, okay? It means a lot. We are recruiting for our clan for this shit. If you want to get involved with what we're doing, if you want to bring something to the table, if you think you can shoutcast, if you make it overlays, get in contact with us, and we'll make it happen. But as always, I hope you guys have a good rest of your night.